Hey Justin, how you doing? How'd your second day of training go?
I went good, not bad.
You feeling good about the job?
Yeah, I passed my dexterity test and all that crap today, so I gotta do CPR tomorrow. So,
You've done CPR before, haven't you?
yeah, I already have my license, but they make me do it through them. So,
Well, they're just checking all the boxes. Yep.
yeah,
Well, good. Well, how soon will you be on your own bus?
probably next week or something.
Or do you have to ride with somebody else for a day or two or
For 3 days, I gotta train with somebody, and then I get assign my own bus.
good. Well, I'm sure you'll do real well. They're probably tickled to death to have you.
Yeah, it's. I already knew what to do on all the CPR stuff, though. They didn't. I was telling them what to do when they were asking questions. Because they kind of just left us in the room to watch a 4 hour video,
Yeah.
and people were kind of like, "Well, what does that mean?" Like through the as we were sitting there watching the video, and I was explaining it to them because they didn't understand any of it.
Jonathan Jackson is in the chat.
Are we live already?
Yes,
Okay, I was
we
waiting
are
to see
live.
so I could pull the chat up. What's up, Jonathan? But yeah, it's I was showing the girls how to do the CPR on the infants and the large dummies and the AED machine and all that. What's up, Mark?
I gotta pin the thing yet. Um,
Because the one girl hadn't done CPR in like 10 years or something. She goes, "Isn't it uh 15 on the heart and then two breaths?" I said, "No, they switched it to 30 and two.
30
So
and 2.
you got to pump 30 times, then take a breath, give them a breath, wait a second, give them another breath, and pump 30 more times. And you just keep repeating that."
Hey, Jonathan's here. He was first tonight. Well, besides you were first.
Well, on the
Mm.
panel, but not in the chat. Um,
Hi, Justin.
so
Paul.
Hey, how you doing, Mark?
I'm fine, thank you. It took me ages to get on this morning, because Zoom did a blooming update.
Yeah, they're always doing something, right?
Yeah.
and it's weird too because Paul uses the same link every fucking time,
Every time it's the same link.
but
Yep.
then every once in a while it'll ask for a passcode randomly.
No, it was actually doing the update while I was trying to get on, so it wouldn't let me.
Oh yeah, yeah, it'll do
So
that.
it locked you into the update mode, right?
Yeah. So I just had to wait until it had finished.
Yeah, it did the same thing. It does the same thing on the computer. You go to well, as soon as you open it up, it wants to update, but it's a lot faster on the computer. Well, there goes the sheriff's helicopter. I don't know what they're doing. They just flew over.
Hey, what side? Okay. Right back, gang.
I got to finish. I did my dexterity test today. They give you 20 seconds to do it. I did it in 8.
What
Um,
that? How many kids
What you
can
gotta
go
do?
off the
Fart and
bus?
hold your nose?
no, you got to run from the front of the bus to the back, open the emergency exit, and jump out the back. It took me 8 seconds to get from the front driver's seat all the way to the back and get out.
Aren't you? Yeah,
Impressive.
it's a bit different when there's a gang of screaming kids in between you and the exit, though.
Well, like I was telling the girls today when we were talking about how the kids are supposed to exit right to left down the aisle till they're all off the bus. I said, dude, if that bus is up in flames, those kids are not going to get off in an organized fashion. I
I was
guarantee
like,
you that. You're going to be Superman and those kids out the back of that bus because you ain't going to have no choice.
mm,
Because grown ass adults, I mean, just that. I mean, we've seen numerous things over the years all over the world where waves of people, crowds of people panicked and all ran into each other and killed a bunch of people.
oh yeah.
I mean, if grown adults do it, you're not going to expect little kids not to do that. I mean, all you can do is just practice with them. So
Mm. They should make the kids on the bus do a fire drill every now and again.
they have to do 2 a year.
Yeah.
Every student has to do at least 2 of them a year. The state only requires it 1 a year, but the county requires it to do it twice.
Hmm.
So, but the biggest perk to the job is free healthcare. I don't have to pay anything.
Yeah.
Nothing out of my check or anything. It's all free.
That's good. That.
No co-pays, nothing.
Mm.
Every job I've ever had where I've gotten insurance, I've had to pay something out of my check, and it's usually a couple $100 easy a month.
Yeah.
What you doing, Dre?
Same as I do every day.
Sit in his house and talk to people on the computer. Yay.
Yeah.
Directs everything from his office.
There's Dre.
I actually had to get out from my desk and go out and do a trip and fall investigation out in
Oh,
some
really?
neighborhood. Get them all the time. People walking down the street, trip over an inch high lifted piece of sidewalk slab, and they want to claim against the city.
Yeah.
Not the fact that they should have been watching where they was walking and learn how to step on things.
Yeah.
But they want to file, and they always got these injuries from, oh, my shattered my forearm, elbow, hurt my hip, and this and that. And I'm like, holy smoke! You would think of somebody from the NFL tackled them or something.
Yeah, like I can see a legitimate case if like they fell through a manhole or something
Right.
crazy like that. Yeah. Or if it was like, there's been some cities where they've gotten sued because people were driving down the road and a massive ass pothole destroyed after a car.
Mhm.
And that I can understand, but
Yeah. So, that was my big event. The day before, I was down at the animal shelter. They actually finally found some money to build extra room
Hey,
for
Dominic.
some of the
Uh,
animals they've been bringing in. Our animal shelter has been on the brink of shutting down for a better part of a decade and stuff. There's just so many stray dogs out there.
yeah,
And
our
they're gonna
sheriff,
bring in, and people bring in animals all the time too.
our sheriff does free, almost for at least 5 or 6 times a year. He does a free 2 or 3 weeks where you can go in and adopt for free. You don't have to pay anything.
Yeah, that's where it's getting to. It's almost adoption. Even if you pay for the adoption, they do the spray and neutering for free.
Yeah, he's a big animal lover, so his shelter, the sheriff's department, they don't actually kill any animals unless it's medical, or if the dog's
Okay.
if the dog's completely unadoptable. Like they do
Mhm.
have some like Rottweiler and pit bull organizations that will take dogs that are real aggressive,
Yeah.
but if they can't absolutely find a home for a dog that's super aggressive and they don't
Mhm.
feel like it can be adopted to a regular person, that's the only time they'll do anything. But
Yeah.
they try to work with as many organizations as possible.
Yeah. So that's been my extracurricular activities for the week so far. I did. I think I did a walk around of two of the. Well, actually, it's one building with 3 floors. I did my safety walk around for the quarter, make sure everybody's obeying the rules, is keeping doors closed and doing the safety procedures, not letting people into the employee only areas, that kind of good stuff. We only allowed the public to use a set of restrooms at the very third floor, where you can walk in off the parking lot from.
That
But
surprise inspection.
no, I just come through and walk. every time I come through, I'm surprised of all the new employees and the ones that I did know left.
Mhm.
That's the biggest thing for me. Like, where's so and so? Oh, they left to another county, city, whatever, 6 months ago. I'm like, dang.
Well, I'm
Like,
saying, do you do like surprise inspections? So you just walk in, right? Randomly?
yeah, surprise inspection. I just walk in.
Yeah.
Nobody knows I'm coming. Nobody knows what I'm doing. I don't tell nobody. And then if it's something very egregious, I'll send an email to the director of that department and let them know what I observed. And they can
Mhm.
take it from there to talk to employees about proper procedure.
Yeah, I never understood that, why some inspectors in some industries call and tell them they're coming. It's like,
Because then everybody's going to be on their P's and Q's then.
yeah,
It's
because
Mhm.
some health departments do that. They'll call and tell a restaurant, we're coming in to do an inspection. Like, why the fuck would you call them and tell them that? You should
right.
just pop in.
Yeah, that's what I used to do when I did when I was a MPDS inspector. We used to do the we call it the FOG, foreign waste, basically grease inspections for restaurants, and I see how they do it. Their grease storage, how they where they dispose of it at. Do they have regular invoices for pickups and all this kind of stuff? I think I've only had to shut down about 3 restaurants. One was a donut shop, so Paul would be very sad, and
Yeah,
Holy moly, donut shop.
yeah,
yeah. The Boston creams of the world are crying.
Yeah.
yeah,
God,
and
oh
then
no, I have a great problem in a dog.
other ones, like well, normally I do if I see something very egregious, I call the county health department. I don't know if you guys get the letter grades where you're at, where they have
Yeah, we
A,
do.
B, C, and D type of
Yeah.
thing. And basically, if you ain't got an A, you really screwing up because if you read up things closely on the windows of the restaurants, they'll say A with discrepancies, A minor violations, A, something. So if you got less than an A, you must got some kind of obvious infestation going on in your place, or you really had raw meat sitting out on the counter for a couple hours or something like that kind of crap.
All right.
Yeah, I've had to call them a couple of times in places and over the years.
Yeah, I
But
guess that is
once
pretty
they have
bad.
a backup or a spill, I'm all over for that kind of crap. I am all over because that just shows me an obvious neglect. You're not having regular pickups of your grease system or cleaning of it and everything else. And now with the fast food places, most of the national chains, they have these big old. They basically have a truck pull up and have almost like a fire hose side hose hooks up to the outlet off the building, and it sucks everything right out.
Yeah, I've seen the grease trucks around here, and man, that shit
Right.
stinks when they pop those grease. The
Heck yeah.
manholes off those grease. Oh my God, it
Yeah, the
stinks so bad.
interceptors. Yeah.
Yeah.
So like I said, we get one of those things backing up. That just tells me you have not been keeping up on your maintenance on your stuff, man. So that's why I tell people about, oh yeah, I'm going here to eat. I'm like, nah, I wouldn't do that.
What's up, Al, Michael, Brenda?
I don't recommend that spot because I've been behind in the kitchen, and I'm like, nope, don't go there.
Yeah, there was one day when I had to go inspect a gas meter behind a restaurant, and that grease truck was there, and I just started gagging. It smelled so bad.
Oh
I
yeah,
was like, I'm coming back. I came back like a couple days later. I was like, I
yeah,
can't do this, and it was making me gag. It stunk so bad,
yeah.
and you could smell it for a good like. I mean, you could smell it through the whole complex. It was a big complex.
Oh wow,
It was just nasty smell.
yeah. It's a horrible smell, man. Yeah, it'd be surprising stuff. Just stuff like grease can have such a pungent smell.
Well, it's not so much grease as animal fat in that case, isn't it? So
Well, basically, it's used cooking oil.
yeah,
I mean, whatever they use, if is it regular animal fat grease they use, or is it some kind of processed grease? That's what they use to cook with. So
yeah, but
it doesn't get mixed. It can't be mixed with anything else. So
yeah,
it is just the cooking oils.
and it does go rancid.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
That's why I say this. That just tells me you guys have not been doing your maintenance schedule. And that's why I tell them, show me your invoices. Just don't tell me you have a once a week pickup. I said, show me at least 3 months of invoices. Well, I used to be
yeah,
expected.
because here, Mark, they have you go back behind the like the restaurants, and they have like almost like a septic tank in the ground, and there's a manhole. It literally says grease trap, like grease something or another on the manhole.
It'll say grease,
Um,
it'll probably use the word interceptor.
Yeah, I don't remember what it says. It says grease something on it, but
Uh-huh.
yeah, and when they pop that manhole off, oh my God. Talking about
And you have,
probably a couple months worth of grease down there.
yeah, and like I said, you have grease interceptors or some type of interceptor at restaurants, car washes, gas stations,
Yeah.
mechanic repair places, all have interceptors.
Mhm.
Most of your water
But
department will mandate that you have
oil or
have some type of interceptor system with basically it's like a chamber system. Once it fills up on one side, the water spills over, but the solids stay in the first stage area, and the water spills over to the next stage. And it might even be a third chamber that goes through the same process. Once it fills up, the water will spill out again to the next chamber. So it's almost like a filtration system that kind of the solids stay behind is what you have vacuumed out with the trucks, and the water flows until it goes to the regular sewer line. And
Because
so
it's a different system for oil because oil floats.
right. Right. So it's a different matter how they do it, type of interceptor you may have to have put in. But yeah, because like I say, I would come out and do my job. I saw something wrong. If the water department send their guys out, they actually do a more strict testing where they actually do pH sampling with their thing because they don't. For them, if you just let everybody just dump into the sewer system, they're not able to clean the substance down at the plant efficiently. There's a certain amount of your waste and other wastewater has to be processed down wherever your plant is in your area.
Oh yeah, when I was living in North Carolina, the department that dealt with the sewage actually sent a letter to our apartment complex and the other 3 apartment complexes that were next to us
Mm-hmm.
because they pinpointed all this grease was coming from the apartment complex.
People pouring grease down
And they
drain.
had a picture of it coming out of a big massive, like, it looked like a 20-inch pipe. And they were like, this is what we have to deal with. And it showed a picture of it just coming out. Big glob of it. It was disgusting looking. But apparently
Back in
they
the day when
traced it back to our area. So
when I used to work on the Vector trucks, and we get a call out for a backup, and we had to go next manhole down and run the hose up it, and you rod that thing, you hit the obstruction, and next you know you hear like a little poop sound. You don't broke through, and you just watch that manhole. And we call them grease boats, almost a foot long, hardened pieces of grease just floating down the line. Now, it usually happens right around the winter time where temperatures drop, a lot of holiday cooking, people Thanksgiving, Christmas time, people just pouring stuff down the drains.
Oh yeah, baby wipes is another problem too. Yeah,
Yeah,
Corey.
well, baby wipes. I mean,
Yeah.
like I said, once you start to get a blockage from either root intrusions or grease buildup, it just starts becoming a mass because, like I said, all your paper byproduct stuff, it just adds to it. Like I said, that's why I say you got to rod upstream to break the obstruction, and then everything flows down from there once you break it.
Yeah, and them flushable wipes are bullshit too.
Yeah.
Don't flush those down the toilet because they're just as bad. They claim that they're like toilet safe, but they still have been known to clog toilets up.
Yeah. Well, like I say, you put too
Sewer
much of
lines.
anything down there, clog it up. Even too much crap, clog it up.
Uh-huh.
And it's amazing just how many tomato plants you see growing at sewage works.
Oh yeah, that's what about me because we once a week we take the trucks down to the plant and we would clean them out, and in the area we clean them out, always growing tomato plants.
Yeah, because can't
All
digest
that luscious fertilizer.
Yeah, the human body cannot digest tomato seeds.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know that feeling.
Well, as you get older, a lot of things bother your body.
I never knew that was the thing at sewage plants. That's interesting.
Yeah.
I hope to God nobody's going down there and actually harvesting those and selling them.
No, nobody's allowed to go in. Matter of fact, it's a controlled area. No one's
Won't
allowed
get
in
any
there.
won't be anything wrong with them. In fact, they'll grow pretty well with all that. Effluent.
Yeah, it's just the fact though, knowing that came down the shitter and regrew. No, I'm good. It's just the thought of it, whether it'd be safe to eat or not. I don't know.
So when I was in the field inspector, I would go in restaurants, auto mechanic shops, gas stations, tire shops, all kind of stuff I would expect, dude. On top of also keeping an eye on any construction projects.
Michael said over there, the guys that work in the drainage business call them fatbergs.
Yeah.
Yep.
We over here we call it the brown trout.
Yeah, good old fashioned brown trout.
Yep.
Oh man.
Yeah, that matter of fact, that was the old name of the golf league I used to play in every Wednesday, was the Brown Trout League. It was made up of guys from the water department and the sewer department.
You called yourselves the brown trouts?
Yeah, Brown Trout League.
I had to
But,
deal
uh,
with a place in Whitefield where the sewers were getting blocked all the time. And it turned out it's a horrible orange sludge. And it
Right.
turned out
Right, yeah.
as soon as the water was being filtered into the drains, it was
What's up,
hitting
Laura?
and it was releasing a sediment. And yeah, I guess it probably was an iron sediment with that colour, but it was worse than that.
Mm.
And it just ended up like a big pile of mud in the sewer.
Yeah. Like I say, I ran the camera equipment. So I would drop my robotic camera system down the sewers and I would inspect the lines, both sewer lines and storm drain lines with the robotic camera. And I just sit there with like a little we call it PlayStation controller, and I just watch it go up the line, controlling the camera and stuff. And inspect the lines where I say you can get the root intrusions. You can tell the difference with different lines, where there's even lines that were put in, I guess in the mid 50s, somebody came with this grand idea of using some type of paper product that it would work, but it only lasted about 20, 25 years tops, instead of using the old clay pipe and stuff. So I've seen lines like that, the regular old clay lines, which are only about a foot long, and yet it section them in. In more modern times, they use the PVC ABS type lines.
Yeah.
Yeah, you see where they shoot the new lines and the old ones with air now, and it just
Well,
like molds inside.
Yeah, it's I forgot the term to use, but basically it's like a foam injection, and it forms inside of the existing line.
Yeah, it's actually
And if
pretty cool
it had
looking.
any cracks and
Yeah,
seals or
it's
broken, it will reshape.
Yeah, relining it.
Yeah. Yep. I've been doing that for quite a while.
Yeah.
It's just another way of companies, cities, whatever, trying to find a shortcut instead of digging up the whole street or whatever. They can do the injection process, and they just hope and pray it holds.
I mean, is it good though? It's like a hard plastic, ain't it?
Oh yeah, it works fine once it's done.
It works fine to like anything else. It works fine if it sets right, but you don't know if it sets right until you have a leak.
Like if it runs into a root system or something.
Justin, I gone in. There's one section I went in, and we always had a problem. Every time we would rod it, we would bring back all this dirt and sand and stuff back to the manhole area. We just got to scoop it out and everything else. And they had me drop the camera in there, and I'm getting about maybe 15 feet down, and somebody's told me just to pan the camera up 90 degrees. And when I did that, there was nothing there, dude. I saw the bottom side of the road.
Oh wow.
Over this time, it had eroded away, and then by us continue to rod that to clean it, using the high pressure jet nozzles and everything else, We made it worse because
Yeah.
we knocked out all the existing dirt and sand and everything else.
Sinkhole.
We had to block off the street, and there was one of the streets that the buses would come down. And we had to tell the bus company, you can no longer use this street until we repair it, fix the line, redo the road, everything, because they could have had a cave in any moment, any day.
Yeah, we had
Wow.
a bus fall down one of them in the middle of Manchester.
Yeah,
Oh yeah, that's how a lot of big sinkholes are caused in
Yeah,
right.
modern cities because of some water line will bust and be under there running.
Yeah.
And
it's
then
a
they don't
roll away
know.
all the dirt and rock and everything else that makes up your base underneath your road, and it's all gone.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I've seen some stupid stuff, man.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, there was a big ass one in China. What was it, about 5, 6 years ago?
Mm,
And it swallowed up like a half a block.
yeah,
It was fucking massive.
and that's basically what's happening out here in California now, up there, Palos Verdes community, a very affluent area. You know, ain't a house up there under $2 or $3 million, but evidently through the last couple of winters from the water saturation, and I think they've had some busted water lines. Now the ground is all breaking up, and they've turned off all the utilities in that area and everything else because now they're afraid, you know, anything else could happen. Earthquake could happen, whatever. And they got houses that are literally falling apart from parts of the ground sinking and rising up.
Wow.
Mm.
Yeah, Michael, you got a link for that? Because I don't know what you're talking about. We had a massive ass sinkhole in our city, which is not uncommon for Florida. Natural sinkholes actually happen quite a bit because
Yeah,
we're on
because you
top
guys
of
have those
limestone.
low water table areas. That's why.
Plus, we're on top of a lot of limestone too.
Yeah. True.
But we had a big ass one open up in the Publix parking lot, middle of a shopping parking lot, about 7 years ago, and it swallowed up half the damn parking lot. And it took
Yeah.
them probably about 4 or 5 months to get it filled in and
Mr.
repaved.
Mudball, that would be affluent. With an A.
Affluent.
Effluent.
Affluent.
Yeah.
Affluent.
Yeah, sinkholes are scary in Florida because there's been entire brand new neighborhoods that they've built. There was one here now. I can't remember where it's at in Florida, but it was an entire brand new neighborhood, and they built it on top of a bunch of sinkholes, and like the whole damn neighborhood started getting swallowed. It was like one would open up here, and then 2 streets over, another one opened up, and it got to a point where all those people had to move out because it was so bad. I just can't remember exactly where it was at in Florida, but that was a few years ago.
The majority of Manchester is built on sandstone,
Mm-hmm.
so it's pretty safe. But we do have some underground rivers.
Oh shit! Look at this one.
I thought you were talking about Mudball.
Hey,
There we go.
Hey,
Check
Don,
the-
how's
one
it
of these
going?
days you're not gonna have a little mud ball to pick on.
Check that out.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Damn, swallowed that whole
wow.
damn light.
Yep, that's gone.
Hey Joe, that sinkhole got revenge on the poles for you. Took that whole light pole into the ground. Oh wait, Joe's not here. Damn it.
Yeah, no, Joe's at football matches.
Joe's at doing football pictures.
That is
Yeah,
nuts,
every
man.
Wednesday,
Yep.
right.
Because look how tall. That's a good, what, 50, 60
Mhm.
foot light?
Yep. Usually they're
Yeah.
about 50, 60 feet up.
It swallowed that whole damn thing.
Yeah.
I bet you that was water line because it looked like there was a bunch of water in there.
Hmm.
Because it's splashed in. I bet that was a water line running under there.
Dust.
Some water
Not
main.
necessarily.
Oh,
It was
I'm
most-
just.
Yeah, mostly dust.
Mm-hmm.
Let me see if I can find that neighborhood I was talking about.
Don, you trying to get a little relaxation sitting in the dark there, bud?
Sitting in the dark?
Yeah.
I'm not in the dark. I don't have the camera light on, but
Well, we can only see about half your face. Or is that for cinematic effect?
You can only see half my face.
Yeah.
Turned sideways.
Hey, you got it vertical.
No. He's just got a lot of shadow, that's all.
Yeah, so you
Uh,
get a little cinematic effect going there, that having
Yeah,
that tense or
let me go
or
to the
a
YouTube channel
spooky
here.
feel.
Let me go open it up here. And see
yeah, it
what I look
doesn't
like.
say where it's located on the news story in the description, but it swallowed 10 holes or 10 homes in the neighborhood.
Mm,
Oh no, it's dark, but you can see me.
that's a
Here,
little better.
if you want more even lighting, we can do that.
Yeah, yeah. Well, we get spoiled being able to see your whole face in the morning time, So, in the evening you just look a little more
Oh,
mysterious.
that's spoiled, huh?
In the
Yeah.
kitchen.
Cool Cat said it was a romantic setting. I said, was he trying to get that brooding look? That
So I started watching Torchwood. I actually like that one, Donald.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think
more
it's
adult
better.
than Doctor Who. Doctor Who's a kids show.
Yeah.
And Torchwood was more of an adult themed show.
Well,
But
it's a little better, I think, on the storyline and slightly better with the CGI. I actually like it. And yeah, like you said, there's a lot of fucking sex in that show. I'm only 7 episodes in, and I've already seen 2 aliens having sex.
Mhm.
No, I don't mind. I like the sci-fi shows that kind of right border on being cheesy, but they're not quite cheesy. Like I put like Eureka in that same category, those type of shows,
Mm.
or Warehouse 13.
I tell you, when I watched on YouTube here, Don might have caught it. I know he's a big sci-fi buff, but it was a television series on Dune, tying after the first movie and to the second movie. No matter of fact, tying the first movie to the upcoming third movie. It's about 7 episodes, 7 or 8 episodes.
Dune?
Yep,
Dune?
yep.
Oh,
Dune or Doom?
Dune.
D-U-N-E.
He's talking about Dune. Dune.
Okay, yeah. I've seen those. Yeah, they're
Yeah,
pretty
but
good.
I saw it on YouTube and I watched it. It's like seven or 8 episodes, but
Yeah,
it ties the storyline from the first movie into the
Yeah,
upcoming third movie.
yeah. I know exactly what you're talking about. I've seen them.
And I guess it came on Sci-Fi Channel a couple years back or something.
Okay, then yeah, it was just a.
Miniseries is what I
I'm
think it
guessing
was.
it is probably then Children of Dune you were watching.
Yes, yes.
Okay.
Children of Doom. That's what it was called.
And I think it was meant to be a miniseries, right? It wasn't.
Yeah,
I
it
don't
seemed
think
like it was a
because it
miniseries. But
seemed
not
like
bad.
it
I mean,
ended fine.
yeah, it wasn't bad. It wasn't bad at all.
Yeah, it wasn't intended to tie this current movie.
But now you don't
in.
see 1 and 2, and I've seen previews of sneak previews or whatever, what 3 is supposed to be about in a couple years. I guess they're going to release it 2026, 2027.
I've read all the books, so I've got everything spoiled for me already.
Okay.
I wish they'd made a series out of the stainless steel rat.
Out of a what?
A stainless steel rat.
The stainless steel rat.
Oh, rat. I thought you said a rack, a stainless steel rack.
Yeah, that ain't very. It didn't sound very appealing, did it?
Oh,
No, I didn't. I thought I was standing still right inside my barbecue grill.
Fucking killer barbecue girl.
No, it was a criminal they used as a bounty hunter.
Oh, what was that weird movie you had me watch, Donald, about the tire?
Rubber.
Yeah. That movie I've watched. It was fucking weird, but it was interesting at the same time.
That would be a good one to put on.
That movie was like super cheesy, but I couldn't turn it off. I had to finish watching it.
It's one of those movies you keep saying, it's got to get better. It's got to get better.
Sometimes I'll do that though. I'll just watch it. I'll just randomly pick a movie to watch that I find on one of the apps. and then I'll start watching it, and it's super cheesy, but I just can't stop watching it. I end up finishing it, so I want to see what happened.
Six String Samurai. That's another one that you kind of, it's cheesy as hell. You want to just keep watching it. It's like it's like an alternate history where there's been an apocalyptic event, but it takes place before the 50s, so it's a wasteland. And Buddy Holly.
Did it have Mr. Miyagi in it?
No, Buddy Holly is traveling across a wasteland with his guitar and samurai sword, heading to Vegas because the king has died and he's being chased by the devil who is dressed like Slash, and he has to take on all kinds of different gangs in the wasteland on his way to
Sounds a bit like the Warriors.
and the Russian army. He has to take on the Russian army.
I was going to say Buckaroo Banzai.
It's cheesier, but it is kind of. I can see Warriors where he has to take on different gangs. I can see
Yeah.
that.
Michael said Don does have some interesting references.
Warriors come out to play.
You know, a movie I really liked back in the day, but was really long, was The Stand. I didn't really like the TV show. I tried watching it, but I wish they would remake that with a
There
more
was
with a modern cast.
There was another.
That was 6 hours long.
They did remake it just recently.
There was
Yeah,
another
it was a
very
TV
similar
show.
to Warriors.
So was the original.
Well, it
The
was
original was a miniseries.
yeah, but it felt more like just a really long movie, though. Well, because I had it on tape, and it was a 4-tape set
Oh, gotcha.
back in the day. So to me, it was like I've been watching a long ass movie. But I don't know. I just didn't really like the newer.
The
show.
original had a TV remix of "Don't Fear the Reaper" that I really enjoyed. At the intro of it,
That
when
Blue
you first
Oyster.
get introduced to Captain Trips.
Was that Blue Oyster Cult?
Yes.
Yeah, we had The Stand on VHS. Yeah, it was a big ass bulky four tape set. You had to switch the tapes every time. After about an hour and a half, you had to put another tape in.
An upside down question mark with a line through it.
Oh, that wasn't that wasn't a movie. That was Man in the High Castle.
Man in the High Castle, Philip K. Dick. Yes.
Yeah, that was the show from, I think Amazon's the one that did that show. It
Mhm.
was it was about the Nazis actually won the war, and the US was actually split in the middle between Japan and the Nazis. Japan had one half of the US and the Nazis had the other half.
Philip K. Dick wrote quite a lot of science fiction books.
I never finished watching it after the first season, but it was getting pretty good. I just never went back and finished watching it.
What's the name of the film that references Hook? The film that references Peter Pan? I'm guessing you're talking about Hook.
Yeah, it would have been Hook.
I think there's actually various films that reference Peter Pan.
That's why I'm
In some
just
way.
guessing because he's talking about
Yeah.
Lost Boys.
Yeah, Hook was the one with Robin Williams, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
And here he's talking about he loved the '80s film about Vampire Gang with Kiefer Sutherland, Lost Boys.
Yeah.
I think it was the same year that Lost Boys came out. The vampire film Near Dark came out, and it's a really good vampire movie if you like vampire movies.
Yeah, movies, they always did that. Not so much, I would say. Well, yeah, they're still doing it these days, where one film company will make a film and then another one will come out with something very similar.
Mhm.
Like, you remember you had Deep Impact, and then you had
Armageddon.
Armageddon, and then recently you had The Bricklayer and The Beekeeper. Very similar movie
Mhm.
premise.
And yes, Peter Pan's friends were called the Lost Boys. He was the leader of the Lost Boys.
Uh-huh.
And one of them will always get really popular, and the other one's kind of just, it's there. I would say Armageddon was probably more popular than Deep Impact because it
Yes.
had Bruce Willis and yeah, there was a lot of movies. Steve
Deep
Buscemi
Impact
was in it,
had the big government cover-up theme behind it. They
right?
thought it was something else brewing.
Yeah.
Well, they
but it
had a lot
Morgan
of
Freeman.
They had a lot of movie stars though too.
Well,
Yeah.
there's, I think when Two Worlds Collide was another one.
I thought Morgan Freeman was in Deep Impact.
He was.
Oh, I was thinking
He
Armageddon
was the president.
because
Yeah,
Armageddon
in
had a
Deep
lot of movie stars.
Yeah. And were you talking about Worlds Collide with?
It's When Two Worlds Collide.
When Worlds Collide. When two worlds collide, or when worlds collide?
When Two Worlds Collide.
George Powell.
Yeah, I think so. It was about.
I think that's just. I think that's just
a
when.
planetoid going to run into Earth.
I think that's just when worlds collide.
Is it?
Unless it was released in England under when two worlds collide. Let me.
Did you mean to put 90s? You put naughties. Disaster movies were the thing in the naughties.
No, the noughties was 2000 to 2010.
Yes, when worlds collide. 1951.
Yeah.
There's no number in there. It's just when worlds collide.
Yeah, because that was when Independence Day came out. Yeah, there was a lot of end of the world type movies back then in the 90s.
I always find myself watching Armageddon every time it comes on.
all the Planet of the Apes films. The one about the snowstorm.
Oh, that was 2012 though.
Snowstorm Day After Tomorrow.
I
Yeah,
like that movie too.
That came out in 2010 though, because it came out 2 years before the actual date that it was portraying was the end of the what was it, the what calendar was that? The
Gregorian calendar.
yeah, it was
Or no. Aztec calendar.
Aztec calendar, yeah.
I was gonna say Mayan or Aztec calendar. Yeah.
Yeah, it's Aztec calendar. We both said Gregorian. It's like, no, that's wrong. I said it, and I know it's wrong. I shouldn't have said it. Bad done.
Which I always thought was funny because they came out with it 2 years before 2012. Which I found kind of funny. You would have thought they would have released that around the hype of that.
Hmm.
No, I like Armageddon. I love when Steve Buscemi gets up on the fucking nuclear bomb and he's like humping it, riding it. He's like, "You mind getting off of the nuclear bomb?" Speaking of Steve Buscemi, you'd be surprised how many people actually have that motherfucker tattooed on their bodies out there. I don't know why. He's just a popular tattoo. Ugly as shit.
He really caught my eye back when the movie with when they're all convicts.
Oh,
Nicolas Cage was the star.
oh yeah.
Con Air.
Con Air, yeah.
Con Air, yeah,
Yeah.
Con Air.
That was a
it.
good movie.
Yeah, that's when he first caught my eye.
I've only seen that once, I think.
Yeah, he was like that crazy ass serial killer. They had
Yeah,
all strapped up like he was. Yeah, they had him in a
Mhm.
mask and everything because he was so dangerous.
yeah.
Apparently.
He like that. We call Hannibal Lecter type character.
Yeah. Yeah, he's a good actor. I mean, I've liked most of the
Yeah.
movies he's been in.
I think some of his best role was that HBO series he did when he played the gangster, the New Jersey
Boardwalk.
gangster. Boardwalk, yeah. I think that was
I
one of his
never watched
best
it.
overall
I never
roles.
watched it either. I
I
wanted
watched
to. I
it.
just never did.
Yeah, it's a good series. If you ever got into watching that, it's a good series to watch.
Was that the one The Rock was in too?
No,
Wasn't he in it? Okay, I'm thinking of a
Not-
different movie.
not in Boardwalk. The Rock was in
He was
what they
in
call it?
some
What's
other
the one where they
show.
had the jail on the island and they had the missiles coming in? The Rock. That was in the movie, The Rock.
No,
Yeah.
no. That was Nicolas Cage and
Well, Nicolas Cage,
No.
Sean Connery.
No, I'm
Yeah.
talking about The Rock, the actual actor, The Rock, Dwayne Johnson.
Dwayne Johnson. Yeah.
Okay.
He was in an HBO show, Ballers. That was I never
Oh, yeah,
watched it. Yeah,
Ballers.
Ballers.
Yeah,
That's what I was thinking
Ballers.
of.
Yeah. No, Steve Buscemi was in Boardwalk. Empire. Was it Empire?
Was it Empire?
No, I think
or
Boardwalk Empire?
Empire Boardwalk. I think might have been a full time. Let me type it in.
Yeah,
that
'cause
one was
I never
about a
watched
bunch
it.
of
It was
like-
gangsters.
yeah. I never watched either one of those, but I know The Rock was
Boardwalk
definitely
Empire
Ballers.
sounds right.
Yeah, Boardwalk Empire was the full title.
I actually liked the show Fargo, Edward. I never watched the movie, but the show was really good. I just got done watching that not too long ago.
I've never seen the show. I watched the movie.
About a few months ago, I watched Fargo and finished it. Thought it was pretty interesting.
Yeah, because I think that Boardwalk Empire lasted at least 2 or 3 seasons. I think it was. Might have been more. Well, I
There's
watched
a
it on. I binge watched it in one of those free HBO weekends. I binge watched that sucker. It was pretty good.
What I liked about
a lot of actors came out. A lot of actors got their, as they say, cut their chops in that one that were not well known, but got a lot of work after that series.
Hmm.
and the season of Fargo that had Chris Rock in it, he did a really good job. He played a gangster mob boss.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it was really good. That was probably my favorite season of Fargo because each there was 5 seasons and each season was its own storyline that didn't.
Now, is Chris Rock related to Dwayne the Rock?
No,
No,
Mm.
No, because Chris Rock is black, Dwayne's white.
They're
no,
black today?
Dwayne's no
Dwayne's
Dwayne.
actually black, Paul.
No, he is Samoan.
On his mother's side, his father is
Yeah.
actually part black, part Samoan.
But if you look at him next to a bunch of Samoans, I would
yeah.
say he looks more Samoan than anything. Because
Bloody
and
good rugby.
he actually does. That's like the main background that he identifies with is a Samoan background.
They've got a good rugby team.
Oh, dude, they're fucking huge, dude. Samoans are some big boys now. I mean, even if The Rock wasn't all fucking built like a train like he is, he'd still be big.
Yeah, Cool Cat. I watched that a couple of the replays on that capture of the rocket in the chopsticks. Crazy looking. The other angles where you just see this 22 tall. When you realize it's 20 stories tall, that rocket coming down, and it's just rocketing. Well, just coming down, just free fall, and then at the last minute, it just.
The craziest thing I probably
Amazing.
watched in the past year was, Donald, you were the one that put me on it. It was the show that had the alternate endings. Remember, it was on Netflix.
Oh,
That
yes.
show was crazy, man. I don't know how many times I went back
the one
and
that was a
watched it.
game. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Bandersnatch.
Yes. Yeah, you go on if you haven't seen that, Dre, you can go on Netflix and watch it. And it has you can
Yes.
choose which way the storyline goes throughout the movie.
It's Black Mirror Bandersnatch, and it's like one of the old choose your own adventure books. So while you're watching
What's the name of it?
Bandersnatch,
I thought it's like a porn movie.
yeah, it's a Black Mirror. You can look up Black Mirror, and then Bandersnatch was their standalone movie, but it's a choose your own adventure movie.
And
That's kind of interesting because you can just go back and rewatch content, and I believe the creators say that because they can track how many times it's been viewed, they say there's still things that have not been found.
Yeah, I've been through the movie probably 4 or 5 times, and every single time it ends differently.
Mm.
Because
There you go,
you
Paul.
can pick different directions.
Dwayne Johnson's family boasts of a rich multicultural heritage. Johnson's mother is Samoan, while his father is of Black Nova Scotian heritage.
Oh, wow. I didn't
No.
realize that.
Michael, if you want a fun movie to watch that on Netflix. If you guys have it on Netflix over there, it's really interesting. Like I said, there's like I'd say about every 5 to 10 minutes in the movie, it allows you to pick which way you want the movie to go. And no matter how many times you do it, dude, it always goes in a different directions. It's crazy as shit. Really cool.
Open the gate. The gate is locked.
Yeah, that's exactly the kind of choices it gives you. It will say, like, if somebody's about to get killed, it says, does he escape or does he get stabbed by the killer or something like that? It will give you those kind of choices.
That's the
Well,
original.
okay, one of the earliest
role-playing
things, you're sitting on a balcony,
games.
and it's like, do you want to jump or do you want to push the other guy?
Right,
No, jump or don't jump. And if you don't jump, the other guy jumps.
right. So you get to choose which character jumps off the balcony and kills themselves.
Hmm. What were you typing, Don? Vorpal Blade went Snicker Snack?
From the Jabberwocky.
Oh, okay. I thought you was trying to give me the lines to Bad Boys, the song that Martin Lawrence never knows the second verse.
Hey, the latest Bad Boys on Netflix wasn't bad. I actually enjoyed that. I thought it was funny.
Yeah,
No.
I saw it at the theater.
was
and
funny.
I got it, at home also now.
No, Michael's mentioned that Bandersnatch was from Jabberwocky, and I said, and the Joom Joom Bird.
Oh. I saw that Snicker Snack. I like that's like Martin Lawrence trying to
His
sing
Vorpal
the
blade went
second verse
snicker
of Bad
snack, and
Boys.
with his head, he went galumping back.
Mm.
Yeah, I like the new Bad Boys. I thought it was pretty funny.
Yeah, it didn't do a lot of advertising over the summer when it came out. It came out in like
Dude,
around June or
I
July.
didn't even know it was out till it was out on Netflix.
Is that right? Yeah,
I
my
didn't
wife
hear
and I-
anything about it.
Yeah, because my wife brought it to my attention, and I said, "Oh yeah, we'll go see it." And we went to the theater and saw it, and then and I said it was told me on Fandango, which bought out Voodoo now, that they were going to release it soon, and I got it on that, and then I had the disc came in the mail about a week or two ago.
This one's Ride or Die.
Bad Boys, yeah, Ride or Die. Bad Boys,
Yeah.
yeah.
I
Ride or
didn't
Die.
care to watch it. I really am gonna have a hard time getting back to Will Smith.
After the whole slap debacle.
Yeah.
I mean, seriously, it really is one of those things when you peel back someone that you like, and I always liked Will Smith. See somebody, and you see them peeled back to being that. It's like,
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel you on that though. I kind of see your point on that.
I will probably eventually get back, but it'll take a while because it's just like Mel Gibson. Mel Gibson, I adored his stuff, and then after his whole fiasco came out, it put a stain on him for a while.
And
It's
surprisingly, he's made a pretty decent comeback. I mean, it hasn't been big, but he has been in quite a few films since then.
Black Mirror.
He has a movie coming
Banders-
out right now, Monster Summer.
Yeah, and then he
Black
was
Mirror. Black Mirror Bandersnatch is on our Netflix.
yeah, if you ain't seen it, watch it. It's pretty good.
Mm.
You'll have fun going in the different directions on the storyline.
Yeah, I'm just gonna add it to my favorites.
Yeah, the biggest movie he made, I think his biggest comeback was when he was in that Mark Wahlberg movie, Daddy's Home. That was kind of when he started making his comeback.
Mm.
Because that was a pretty big movie. That movie went to theaters and stuff.
Yeah, it was a theater, but I don't think his role in it was the big thing. I think it was still Wahlberg and
Will Ferrell.
mhm.
Oh yeah, but he did have a pretty big role
Jesus.
in the second movie.
Yeah.
2018, 15 rated, 5 hours and 12 minutes.
The best part of that movie though was when all three of them were in the hallway arguing over the thermostat.
I
And the
never
girl-
watched
Oh, the daughter comes out and turns the thermostat up in the middle of the night. And they all wake up sweating and they all get in the hallway and start debating on why the kids are touching the thermostat and how it's
it.
it's the most evil thing in the world and shit. And it was hilarious. Because the girl wanted to open up her window because it was like they were in the middle of a blizzard. and she
Right.
wanted to have her window open. But she gets cold because the window's open, so she goes and turns the thermostat all the way up to 90.
Oh wow.
Yeah, it was pretty funny. And then it was actually Will Ferrell, Mark Wahlberg, Mel Gibson, and then it was the dude from who played Mark Wahlberg or Will Ferrell's dad.
I
He
know who
was
you're talking about.
30
I got his face in my head.
Third
but I
Rock
can't
from the
think of
Sun. He played the dad in
Yeah,
Third Rock from the
yeah,
Sun. I just
yeah.
can't think of his
it.
name.
I just can't think of his name either.
John Lithgow.
Yeah,
Yeah, John Lithgow.
it
Yeah.
was all four of them in the hallway arguing over the thermostat.
Mm, mm. Now, for me, my favorite Mel Gibson movie, it will always be Payback.
Payback was a pretty good movie.
Yeah, it was good.
Yeah, that'll always be my favorite of him. Yeah, I know Braveheart and the other films that he's done, and also the one where he's getting chased by the police and he winds up in a Mexican jail.
Oh,
Bird on a
That
Wire.
was another. I like that one too.
No, that was with Goldie Hawn. Bird on a Wire.
No. This
no,
is
this was the one that he made right before all that shit came out about him, right?
Yeah.
Or
Oh,
wasn't it about a puppet or something too?
well,
Am I
he
thinking
was
of-
he was robbing a bank and getting chased by the police. He crashes over the borderline fence, and the Mexicans take him because they found all the money in the car, and he's pissed off. He wants his money back, and he goes to the jail, and he's like Mel, he scams his way through the top and figure out who he's got to turn to his side and all this kind of stuff, and eventually gets out of the jail through the ambulance, and he goes back and gets his money from the guy who set him
I
up. In the
don't-
first
I
place.
don't think
I
I've
don't
ever seen
recognize
that.
this.
Oh,
Yeah,
man,
I don't think I've ever
I know.
seen it.
I know. He right before the big brouhaha went down, he had a movie called Was it Payback? But he was kind of a bad character in it.
Yeah,
I don't know. I'll have to look that up because I don't remember that movie.
you remember that one? Let me look it up here. Let me see. I'll get the movie.
I'm looking up right now.
I don't know. My favorite movie with him was the original Lethal Weapon.
Yeah, it was kind of like the buddy.
Lethal Weapon.
I did like all the
I got it
Lethal
right
Weapons,
here.
but I
got
like
it
the
right
original
here.
one.
Justin, get the Gringo.
Get the Gringo.
Oh,
Yes,
I've heard of
that
it.
one.
But I've never watched it. I'll have to watch
Yeah,
it.
get the Gringo. You got to watch that one, dude.
All right, let me look it up, see if I can find it.
Yeah, get the Gringo.
I mean, go back to Mad Max 1 and 2 were great.
I mean, they were. I can't say they were great movies.
3 was
because my thing is the first one. I can't blame him. It was just I would say the director's vision.
mhm.
It could have been. I mean, at the time it came out, it was a nice flick. Also, I look at that. That came out early '80s. Okay, there wasn't a lot of spectacular cinematic stuff going on at the
Right.
theater. I mean, you look at Mad Max, the original movie, and how it could be reshoot today. It could be very, very cinematic. The vistas, the
Got it.
views, the motorcycle gang, and it was like over the top characters in that first one. The motorcycle gang, the guys, all this and that. The other little guy who's like, I don't want to make any connotation, but he had a little sugar in his tank, tied to the gas tank to the other guy and stuff. But compared to the latter movies, where it's more cinematic views, even though the storyline was very thin, Mad Max and the Thunderdome, that was kind of thin storyline. But
They shouldn't have made
the
Mad Max
cinematic-
Thunderdome a PG-13 movie. They shouldn't have dialed it back
Yeah,
and made it family
But
friendly.
you get what I'm going to, where that was a very thin storyline, but the cinematic part of it was so much better than
Oh,
the
yeah.
very first movie and stuff. And even with the second movie, I would say the second movie is probably one of my favorite ones of those first three. The second one was probably my favorite one. The storyline wasn't bad. Everything else taken into place. But yeah,
And then you had
the standards now.
Waterworld.
Mad Max on water, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
That movie's kind of cheesy, but I end up watching it every time it's on. If I run across it.
Another Mel Gibson movie that is a guilty pleasure that I watch is Maverick.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's one of those that you just everybody in it was just great.
And I would say the same thing with that one. That is a remake from original one with James Garner being a star in it, but it was updated to be a lot more cinematic. The scenery, everything else has made it pop off the screen.
Well, it was a remake / sequel
Yes.
because
Yeah.
you find out spoilers.
Matter of fact, I got my Maverick outfit on today. I'll let you see, Don.
Gonna say, is it you talking about Maverick the lawyer?
Look at there.
Look at that.
There you go.
Looking like he just came out of Vegas. He just came
like
out of the
that guy,
high
don't
rollers
you?
section.
Don said he wasn't kidding, was he?
He referred to the nonsense as its own language, and that language has a name.
One movie that I really liked that had I've recently watched was Two Guns. That was really good. Denzel Washington and Mark Wahlberg. That was funny.
Two Guns. You just
Yeah.
not seeing that?
Well, I know it's been a few months since I watched it, but yeah, it was really good. I liked it.
Yeah. Well, that one had the
Bloody
most
hell.
interesting plot twist in it.
Yeah, it did. It was a very
Yeah.
plot twist movie.
Yeah. Very
Go on.
interesting plot twist in that one.
Question: Cannonball Run or Gumball?
Cannonball Run, first one.
Cannonball Run all day, every day.
Yeah, the first one. The second one was trash.
Cannonball or Cannonball Run. I believe Cannonball was with David Carradine, and it was a serious take on the Cannonball Run.
No, it'd be Cannonball Run with Burt Reynolds.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Cannonball Run and the Gumball Rally.
But yeah, Justin, you watch Get the Gringo, and if you haven't seen Payback, you watch that one, you'd be like, yeah, that's Mel Gibson right there.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to watch Get the Gringo. I remember hearing about that movie, but I never watched it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, Mike, I'm going to look it up. Let's see. If Jabberwocky, and I don't know, Michael, if you know if Lewis Carroll had a specific name for the nonsense language in the Jabberwocky.
So I'm trying to see if I can find it on one of my movie apps. If not, I'm gonna have to go on the internet and get it.
Mm,
Hmm.
I'm trying to pull up my Voodoo account. See what I bought something the other day and I haven't watched it, but I'm trying to remember what it was.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to go on the internet and get it. None of my movie apps have it.
What the heck?
I don't even know why I pay for these fucking movie apps. Watch all this shit without them. They got it on the Stars app, but I don't have Stars.
Hey, Corey.
Oh, did my chat freeze up? I don't see.
Well,
Or he
Paul's
popped
missing
back
out
up.
of his seat. He slipped out, didn't say nothing to nobody again.
Yes, it did. I was good, Dusty. Went good. We gotta do the CPR, finish up the CPR class tomorrow.
And remember, don't keep your tongue in your mouth.
I'm already CPR certified, but they don't accept
There
the
you go.
certification I have because you have to do it through them. So
Yeah, they always gonna make you go through the if you got a card already, so that way they have it verified for their records.
Let's take a look in the complete
Lewis
works of
Carroll.
Lewis Carroll and see.
It does have a name.
Does it have a name? What is it called?
I can't remember. I think it begins with an N or something.
Okay, I guess that was the last one I bought, that Ministry of Ungentlemanly Warfare.
Yeah, I've seen the trailers for that. Looks pretty good.
It is. And like I say, I was totally shocked when they said it's based on a true story. I was like, get out of here. But don't forget the other one I told you, Don, The Thicket.
Donald, are you a Jim Morrison fan?
Jim Morrison?
Yeah.
He was okay.
I'm gonna put this link in the chat. This guy, Craigslist hunter I watched, he bought some special edition Jim Morrison book thing. You might, because I know you're into books and stuff, but it's some kind of rare thing he happened to get his hands on. It's I don't know if it time stamped it or not, but it was like 10 minutes in.
Oh, I got another one for you, Don. The Boys in the Boat. True story.
I don't know. I watched Three Men in a Boat.
You know, this is Three Boys in the Boat. It's about the rowing team out of state of Washington.
All right. No, Three Men in a Boat was
Justin,
about
what is
three blokes that
what is this link of? A pawn shop?
rode down the
Yeah.
Thames.
What?
It's 10 minutes in on the video,
10 minutes. All right.
but he got his hands on some rare Jim Morrison. It's got like a 45 record in it and a bunch of books and.
Hmm.
I thought you might be interested in just looking at that.
Hmm.
Got another one for you, Justin. You might like
What?
Land of the Bad
I don't think I've seen that. Land of the Bad.
with Russell
Okay.
Crowe and Liam Hemsworth.
It sounds familiar, but I'll have to look at it. Let me look up a trailer for it. I'll be able to
Sounds
see.
familiar because I
Yeah,
think
it does.
spoke about it last week.
Oh, it's a military movie.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, I recognize this. I never watched it, but yeah.
Yeah.
And I'll have to check that one out.
Yeah.
I like military movies. I'll have to look at that one. That'd be another one I'll put on my list.
Now, Don, did you watch Furioso?
Watch what?
Furioso.
I have not watched Furiosa yet.
Yeah.
You know, it's
Yeah.
like the prequel of the
Yeah,
last.
it's basically Mad Max. It's Fury Road, the prequel to Fury Road. And
Yeah, the prequel
I,
to Fury Road. Yeah.
I have not had a chance to watch it yet. I'm interested to watch it, but
It's a,
not
it's
enough
a,
that I'm
it-
gonna.
I can say the storyline's predictable to a certain extent, but the cinematic process of how he shot it is beautiful.
Yeah, some of the things that
If you- if
happen
you-
in it are
Some of the early
predictable.
footage I did not like the look of. Some of the early footage,
You know,
but
I like. I say,
but
if you
Fury
got
Road
a-
was beautiful.
yeah, Fury Road was nice. I can
Fury
say,
Road, it may be my favorite Mad Max film.
yeah. This right here, I can say, if they could have, if they wanted to remake Fury Road into one large movie with this one, they could have took about 20 minutes out of this movie and added to Fury Road. But I like the way it was shot. Very cinematic. If you have a nice home theater system, 5.1, 7.1, 2, whatever, you will enjoy yourself.
I got 10.6.
Okay, buddy.
That's it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't get to finish watching that video because I came on pause and I was in the middle of watching, but I got to that Jim Morrison thing. And from what I was right at the part where he was talking about something about he was crossing stuff out in the book. So
Yeah,
I don't know if
so-
it was
No,
actually one of his books that he owned personally, or
No, I don't think so. It looked like it was just a limited edition
well,
uh,
see, he said it's super
collection.
rare.
Yeah, it was a limited edition collection of Jim Morrison writings, and probably it was a reprint, probably of some of Jim Morrison's notebooks. I'm guessing.
And the 45 apparently has some of his poetry
Which
apparently on it.
that's the only thing that'd be interesting is taking a look and seeing some of the notebook stuff and see what he was writing. If you were really into Jim Morrison, that would be interesting to see his writing process. You can see that if you go up to in Tulsa, they have a Woody Guthrie Museum, and it's kind of interesting going in there and seeing this land is your land, this land is my land. They've got some of his original notes that you can see kind of where he was trying to write, trying to figure out what words to use, and that's kind of interesting to me.
I actually thought of you when I saw when he started talking about that book. I was like, Donald might be interested in looking at that.
So what's going on, Dominic? Mark?
Not a
How's
lot.
Where's Dominic?
Dominic's
how's
not-
the
Yeah,
how's
Dominic
the
clicked out like 25 minutes ago and hasn't been back.
how's the new gig there, Justin?
Well, that's gone. Just trying to get through all this training.
Hey,
And
Don,
watch-
did you see the latest Alien one that came out?
No,
Mm,
it looks interesting too, but no, I haven't seen a lot of new stuff.
okay.
Alien.
I see it here. I'm debating about should I get it or not. I think I might wait till next week.
What is it?
I had something ruined
Alien
on.
Romulus,
Oh,
basically a remake of the original.
okay.
Yeah, well, a sequel. Or yeah, it's a
I
sequel.
think it's a sequel or is it a remake?
It's a sequel.
I don't think I
Oh,
saw
Because
that.
I had part of it ruined for me by Cool Cat.
Oh, okay. Thanks, Cool Cat. For nothing.
He says, "What do you
Sup,
think about
Cora?
this?" And it's like, I didn't know that was there. So
I want
Oh,
to.
for God's sake,
Did I watch Alien Romulus? I thought I did.
go through all
Sure.
this bloody stuff and it doesn't actually tell you what he called the language, but it does
It-
tell you that a lot of the words have actually made it
It-
into the Oxford English Dictionary now.
yeah, they're portmanteaus.
Mm.
Is the type of linguistic, the combination of two different words into another
Yeah.
new word. But I didn't know that. I've never heard it, or I've forgotten it, or he never said it. But I've never heard of a language being assigned that he actually invented a language. I thought he was just using nonsense
Uh,
words.
Dusty,
Mm.
I think you are referring to Rick Harrison at Pawn Stars.
No, he's talking about Craigslist Hunter, the guy's link I just put in the chat.
Oh,
Because-
that
Because
one.
if it was a different language, you would think it would need to have some of its own
Yeah.
grammar, but it is all written in English grammar, but
Mhm.
with different like nonsense words, but within a grammatical structure of English.
Say,
Yeah, it says that inverted words.
This guy's got a real pawn shop.
They-
Pawn Stars is a joke nowadays.
yeah.
I've been in Pawn Stars 2 or 3 times.
Aren't some of those guys dead?
Just a dad.
Just Rick Harrison's
Pops.
dad,
Yeah.
Senior. Rick Senior.
All the other guys are still alive, but that place turned into nothing but a tourist trap.
Well, didn't Chumley get arrested and go to jail?
I
No,
honestly
he's
don't know.
actually got a pretty successful sneaker business because he's very,
Yeah.
very knowledgeable when it comes to
Oh.
Nike shoes and Jordans. That dude knows his shit.
He was several years ago. He was tempted to buy. Chumley had stumbled across one of the largest Nike shoe collections in the country, and Chumley, the guy wanted top dollar for the whole. It's like Paul's whole house filled with shoes.
But you know the problem with Nikes though is after about 10 years of sitting, if you're not actually wearing them, the soles will literally just crumble on them.
Yeah, they
That's
do.
the bad part. Like they literally, the shoes are meant to be worn and moved. And when they sit stationary for long periods of time, they said to about, I think they have to reach about a decade. You can actually walk up to a pair, grab the sole, and it will just crumble in your hand. As
And
the type of material they use.
Rick said no, we're not buying this whole store because he wants so much for the whole store.
Dude, you ever watch those guys on YouTube that buy and sell Nike shoes? These guys are good, dude. They'll pick up a pair of Nikes out of a box. Like if somebody will bring up a brand new pair and say, I want to sell them. And the guy will pick them up out of the box. And the first thing they do is smell it because Nike has a distinct type of deodorizer or something that they use in their shoes. And that right there tells them right there if it's fake or not. You'll see the guys smell it and then they'll look in it and they'll look at it and they'll look at it for 30 seconds and be able to tell you if it's a fake or not. That's how good these guys
Sometimes
are.
I've on new shoes I've smelled the glue that they used.
Like I said,
The glue.
that's watch some of those guys on YouTube. That's the first thing they do when they pick up a brand new pair of shoes. They'll smell the
Hey-
inside of it, and then they'll start looking at the tags and the stitching.
Hey, Donald, have you heard of another word for bullshit as slapadoodle?
What?
That's-
What?
What?
Have you heard of a phrase called slapadoodle?
No,
Actually, yes.
I haven't.
Lapadoodle?
Yes, slapadoodle.
No.
Sounds like something Gen Z made up.
Apparently, it's another word for bullshit.
Oh, I'll
Malarkey.
just say bullshit.
Mm-hmm.
Sounds like
Skibbity.
something my grandmother might have made up. That's just slapadoodle.
Or something Gen Z made up. A skibbity toilet riz.
Skippy toilet.
That is-
And Edward, yes, that is a good movie. I've seen it. Have you seen
Uh,
Inglourious?
you-
Who's
I have not seen that movie that he wrote in the chat there.
Inglorious Bastards?
Oh, I've seen Inglourious Basterds spelled Basterds.
Yeah.
I think that's just a misspelling.
No, it was a misspelling on the movie, but it was intentional.
Yeah.
So he spelled it correctly, and he shouldn't have. Because the movie title is spelled incorrectly on purpose.
So,
And yes, I'm being pedantic.
Yeah.
so,
Because
How-
I can be.
so how are things down under?
Warming up.
Oh, it was nice today in Florida, man. I'll tell you what, it was so nice. It was just like 70, cool outside. God, it felt great today.
So,
Yeah,
did you go for a
as-
run?
As the northern hemisphere cools down, the southern hemisphere warms up.
Yeah, ours was 17 to 18 degrees and pretty much non-stop rain all day.
Like right now, it just feels so nice outside right now.
So,
Just
did you
feels
go out?
wet.
Did you go out for a walk because it's so nice out?
Midday.
No, we were out in the bus yard walking around today, so it was really nice being outside. It wasn't hot and humid. It was just nice and cool. And
I took the buggy out earlier, but I had to put on a jacket.
Too windy?
Cold. Cooling off.
now I forget,
Yeah.
you don't have a window on that thing, do you?
No.
You
It
plan
was
on putting
only-
one on it for like a windbreak or?
No, I've got a
Wind-
windshield.
a
I've got a
windscreen.
windshield, not a window.
Okay, yeah. I couldn't remember if you had a windshield on it or
Yeah,
not.
it's got a windshield.
Okay,
Touching
yeah,
on
that's right,
just-
because you had to put the stupid windshield wipers on there,
Hmm
even though you don't have a roof on it.
Should have put a pair
Oh,
of the
there's
oval ones on.
so Don, there's not a soft
The
a
top
soft roof that goes on
Uncle-
top.
I do not have one yet. I'm gonna build one eventually, but I don't have one yet.
Bill-
But even still, that would not make me warm.
Does that thing even have a heater and air conditioning built into it?
No.
Yeah, I didn't think so.
Volkswagens had a heater, which was a heat exchanger that worked off the exhaust.
Yep, I've got the heater boxes back here. The exhaust would come through and be enclosed inside the heater box, and it would heat up the air in the heater box, be pulled up along the channels along the floor all the way to the front, and the fan would basically suck the hot air from those channels.
Because they're not liquid cooled.
Dominic looks like he's ready for soccer.
No, soccer finished.
Your shirt.
Yeah,
don't-
it's a AFL.
Earlier.
AFL,
Uh,
which is not soccer.
No, it's
Australian rules football.
yeah, I would say it's more closely related to NFL than it is soccer.
Yeah.
It comes from
We-
Gaelic football.
Yep. I
Irish.
enjoy
Mark, have you seen the Scottish games where they do the caber toss
Yes.
And that's
and the
because
hay toss?
They call the Highland Games. Yeah.
Yes.
and
don't-
actually a lot. Dominic will tell you.
Cannonballs.
Yep.
Dominic will tell you a lot of AFL players will actually come over to the US to play for the NFL because they
Yep.
get big ass contracts.
We've got one currently. Oh, I'm trying to remember what team he's from.
He went as a kicker, right? I know
Yeah,
who
went
you're
as-
talking about.
In one of the college, he's working his way up through the college system at the moment. Texas. I'll check it out.
Texas A&M.
I didn't think the AFL did the same as the NFL and had separate specialist teams.
Well,
Although-
we've
I thought you
Yeah.
were just allowed to make so many substitutes like we do.
our rocker played for the Philly Eagles. We had what's his name? Stephen King, I think his name was, played
Well-
for the
Well,
name of
you're-
it.
Your smallest. What do you play for?
San Diego Chargers.
I'm just sending an email out for tomorrow.
Oh yeah.
Just as a reminder, everybody who's in the field stays in the field. Nobody needs to come back to the yard for anything. Those of us who will be in the yard, 10-17, meet at an appropriate spot. Ours is at the front gate. Leaders over by the back gate.
I thought he's giving us
No.
instructions.
Yeah, I know. I'm not going to be there, so don't worry.
It's like, dude, you can't boss me around unless you're paying me.
Tell me what to do, Dre.
Corey Mano says what Gaelic football with a question mark?
Yeah, apparently it's like Australian
Oh.
rules football, which
Yeah.
you know, we get given shit in America for having football where we get to touch the ball with our hands, but apparently it's a thing in Gaelic football and Australian rules football. They just want to give us shit for being American.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
they still have to kick it as well.
Okay. Jackson Ross plays for Tennessee.
Okay, how much difference
Gaelic
is there
football
between
is an
rugby
Irish
and Gaelic
football.
football?
But it's a
Oh,
bit
yeah,
like
okay.
a mixture of football, rugby, basketball, volleyball, lacrosse. There are so many bloody moves
Uh,
you can
And
use.
horseback riding, I'm thinking, right?
Yeah. It wouldn't surprise me.
Mark,
I think
Mark.
there's darts in there.
from what Mark just said, that's a hell of a combination.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
As I said, it's probably a combination of probably 6 different sports.
Yeah, but I mean, it makes sense why some of the male AFL players would do that, though.
Yeah.
I mean, your minimum contract with the NFL for any team is like 750 grand a year.
Yeah, and that's it. We've had the collective bargaining agreement, which is actually tied to the television rights, that each player gets a certain percentage of the television rights. So if the television rights go up, players' salaries go up, and because we've got a salary cap over here, the situation is you have to pay players. The total pay of payments have to be 100% of the salary cap. So you have to pay players to that.
Justin,
Salary cap's gone up by 40%. Each
Yeah.
of the player then gets upgraded 40%.
because women's WNBA or women's college basketball, they're right now in talks for early next year about image and likeness increase in pay.
The only
Yeah,
reason
well-
the WNBA is still around is because the NBA keeps funding
Yeah,
them. The-
same here with
Well,
AFLW. Our women's game is the AFLW.
You've
think-
heard of
I
you've
can't-
heard of
The major
that-
sport
Most
That-
of it.
is getting closer to equality with pay for the winnings in in the tournaments is golf.
who's heard of Caitlin Clark?
Women's golf are starting to earn a lot more money.
Partly
Well,
because of Caitlin Clark, basketball has become boom in
Yeah,
popularity.
women's basketball is taking off.
Yeah, well, it took a long time though, because like I said, the NBA funded the WNBA for years when they
Well,
were actually not really making money.
They're
How's
making
that?
money now.
Seasons up against 130 for the men's, and the AFL's made an absolute mess of the competition, because instead of aligning itself with the men's competition, it has put them like a sideshow at the end of the year, and it's a shame because I'm hardcore on my Hawthorn team and my Hawthorn girls, but they play at odd times when no one, our games are usually
Cool cats.
and ours are played Wednesday afternoon at 5 o'clock.
Well, the thing is though, is women's sports has such a hard time in most different types of sports because men themselves want to see other guys playing and being rough and hitting hard, and even women. Look at most women; they would rather watch men play than women. I mean,
Yeah,
look at every woman we know that's a NFL. They're all big NFL. Most of the ladies in our chat are
Cool
big
cat.
NFL fans.
I think it's funny. There are a couple of players here that I tell you would really you'd be scared if they ran into you.
Oh
I know
yeah,
there's-
yeah. I'm not doubting that,
Uh,
but I'm just saying it just seems naturally around the world, men's sports always tend to do way better.
Cool cat
And, like,
has
been
hit
going
the
on.
cool cat
'Cause
has hit the
except for
issue
the-
right on the head.
Except for beach volleyball, of course.
Oh yeah, I'll watch that anytime.
You have a good comment there, Cool Cat, about the WNBA.
Well, no, what he's talking about is keep females in
No, the one
Yeah.
before
Saying
that.
keep people in their own sports.
yes. In other words, don't let males go play in the female stuff, just like the
Yeah.
Olympics. They
And
let
we're
those transgender guys that have changed over in the age of 18 to 20 years old, and they're genetically males,
Yeah.
but they're competing in female sports.
Yeah, I know. We've been down that road, and it's a very
No,
rocky
now,
road.
Paul, you're gonna dash Justin's hopes.
Shut up.
But is Australia
you-
struggling with that
don't-
too?
you don't
I
find
think once we get esports taken off, we get robots that you can control with a helmet and do
Oh.
virtual sports. It won't matter. Everybody can just play. Everybody
or
on it, even if and it'll be
or the
skill versus
robots
skill.
will be autonomous and they'll just play the games themselves.
Yeah, that'd be great.
So then who maintains said robots?
The clubs
Little
themselves.
mechanics in the back room.
And then there'll be
cool,
like
yes.
competition seeing who can take apart one of the robots and put it back together the fastest.
Yeah.
I'm sure Donald could do that.
I don't think Donald would want to do that.
Why would you think I could do anything with robotics?
Between you and Tim, you two could easily figure it out. Because I mean, it's not much different than taking
I
a
don't
computer apart.
think Donald and Tim would work that good together.
Donald doesn't work on computers. And Tim hates software, so neither one of them would be good for that.
I'll come in with the software.
Not
Andrew, you got your own world going on.
not to say I don't have confidence Donald couldn't figure it out if he really was interested in and dove into it.
Yeah.
I have confidence
go
he
ahead and
could
say
he
it,
could do
Justin.
it, but
Go ahead and say it, Justin.
but he no he's even said that he gets bored with computer talk. He's not into that stuff.
Yeah.
Well,
So-
Justin, we know what you want to say. You know, just Dumb and Dumber.
No, like I said, I
Justin,
have
you son of
total
a bitch. Is that what you were thinking?
no, I have total confidence if Donald was interested and all of a sudden got interested in robotics, that he would get good at it if he put his mind to it. Donald's got common sense. He's
You
not an
notice
idiot.
Donald, all the statements he makes is if.
But he's not into that. He said that multiple times. He's not into
Well,
that kind of
other
stuff.
than being-
His son would
have-
probably be better
Oh,
choice than he would.
I have full confidence that if Don was smarter, just say it, Justin. Just say it.
No, I mean, if your son wanted to get
Say
into
it.
that, I could totally see it because he's into
Yeah.
that stuff. He's into the whole soldering and playing
I-
on computers, and he's into all that. So,
And we have David.
Yeah, I thought Johnny and I had moved on subjects.
Andrew, I put my own computer together. However, I assure you, at no point did I build anything. Well, it's
Yeah.
not just about building the computer, it's learning the software, learning how the BIOS works. I mean, there's a lot of stuff you got to learn.
You understand how the computer works, how everything talks to each
I mean,
other.
there's a lot of shit I don't know. I try to learn as much as I can. Honestly, if I got a question that I don't know, I'll ask David, Corey, or Sean, or somebody like that, because they got way
Ask me
more
all you want, I'll
experience
tell
in
you
that
to
stuff.
fuck
Let's talk about AZ. Like I've asked Corey things before that I wasn't sure about. Like I don't mind asking.
Say,
I
Corey,
definitely
you
don't
still
know
here?
everything.
What say you, Corey?
Well, if you don't know.
That's the smart thing to do is ask somebody that you
Like,
know will
Corey
know.
is very intelligent. Corey knows a lot of shit.
Well, guys, I really had to lose my shit at Laura today.
Uh-oh.
She,
Okay,
she was
what
on,
happened?
she was online from 7 o'clock trying to get tickets.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
She was getting error message after error message after error message. By midday, she's getting really, really stressed, and I'm really, really stressed with it. I'm like, well, they just give up. And then suddenly it pops up and said 2 tickets where she wanted them. Yeah. She started celebrating and dancing around the fucking bedroom. I'm like, Laura, fucking buy them, you stupid bitch. No point celebrating until you pay for the darn things.
Well, the system probably
tickets
was
to which-
overloaded.
To which concert?
Yeah, but
Versus Matt Fly next year.
the thing is,
Yeah.
Michael, is high IQ doesn't give you common sense. There was
Justin's
that-
right.
I watched some body cam footage of a guy that the police arrested not too long ago for murdering a girl, and he apparently had a very high IQ, was a super intelligent,
Uh,
and the cops tricked him into confessing. So
Justin and Don, see Cool Cat's last message. Says IQ.
Yes, good at IQ test or certified clever sausage. The thing I have problems with IQ tests, it only tells you how much you can think like the person who designed the test.
Mm.
yeah, true. You're not the first person I've heard say that either.
Yeah, but I'd agree with that comment too.
Why don't you get AI to generate your test then?
Because the questions are still from a central database of
Yeah.
standard
I like-
questions.
Model.
I
They're built on
did
a
take
language.
the Mensa test, the online test for Mensa back in this would have been 96 or something like that. They had an online test that you could take as just a test, as a practice.
Yeah.
And I found 2 mistakes in it.
Well, I found one major flaw in that Mensa test. If you click the back button, you could re-answer the question and get it right. Okay, that rules that one out.
AI coquette, that could be a tricky slope,
And there's been people that were highly
can be,
intelligent that
but
were absolutely not successful at life at all
Yeah.
because I think common sense has a lot to do with it as well. If you're
Yeah.
highly intelligent and you got really good common sense, you'll probably be a dangerous person in some field as far as just being really good at something. But
Yeah, like Sheldon.
just because you're smart don't mean that you're
Well,
gonna do
this is
good.
a sad story, but true. One of my friends, Dwayne, he was quite very intelligent. Very, very, very intelligent, but not intelligent enough to miss the fucking bus. And that was his end.
he
walked
missed the
right out in
bus.
front of a bus. Bang. So, doesn't matter how intelligent you are, Mother Nature will have her way.
That was a Mother Nature. That was a bus driver.
Yeah.
Justin has a
not
point
to
there,
laugh at
David.
your
Well,
friend or anything. I'm
no,
just saying.
technically it was Mother Nature because it was really windy and raining, so he turned his head to stop the wind and rain going in his face, and they still walked out in front of the bus and went boink.
So he died of natural causes?
Well, I would assume so.
Something like that.
Misadventure.
Yeah, I think that's what they called it, misadventure.
Yeah.
And Liam Payne from One Direction's had a misadventure tonight.
Oh.
He's gone over a balcony and killed.
Uh, Cool Cat, are you also Irish?
And in true internet fashion, someone's posted a video on Twitter.
No.
God, there's no way that Michael's Irish.
Too posh to be Irish.
Oh,
Actually,
Irish can be posh, you know.
you can
It
actually
would-
understand them.
It wouldn't surprise me if Michael is Irish, considering what
No.
people did
Not
many,
with
many
that.
years ago.
No,
They kept going from the UK to
Andrew,
Ireland back.
Not with that.
not that accent. He's not Irish. Well, he might have Irish descent, but he's not Irish himself. And Justin, you can always understand the Irish. It's the Scottish that have a problem with.
Oh yeah, it's
Yeah.
a Scottish. Yeah,
Actually, it's Newcastle we have problems with.
I can understand Newcastle. I can understand
Scottish are
Scottish.
easy to understand.
Yeah, the Scottish are harder than the
Well,
Geordie.
Laura's family have a friend up in Aberdeen, far north of Scotland. He has the broadest Scottish accent you could ever get, right? And they can't understand him, even though they're best friends with him. And they asked me to translate, and I'm like, he only said, "Can he have a fucking cup of tea?"
Yeah.
all
I mean,
these years they find out
Okay,
he
there's a proper few F words in there.
all these years they find out he was just saying, "Why are these people come and staying at my house with me?
Yeah.
Who
Why
are
can't
you?"
Make me a cup of coffee or a cup of tea.
Yeah. Fucking told you I hate you. Go away.
Has he said anything about the Loch Ness? Nessie?
Mm.
The only people that sing Loch Nessie are people on magic mushrooms or seriously drunk.
Mhm.
Tell me this. Supposedly they found exactly where they found the stones that are at Stonehenge. True or not?
Yeah, they found the stones at Stonehenge many centuries ago.
Yes, I know they found it, but where they came from?
Yeah, came from the earth.
Quarry.
Yeah, some jackass decided to stack a bunch of stones in a circle. I don't think it really went beyond that, to be honest with you.
Didn't know Justin was about then.
Yeah, it was just before the days of Facebook, and somebody went, "I'll fucking wind the bastards up. Let's build this circle."
Yeah, real murder twice every year when we move the clocks forward and back.
Did you hear
Yeah.
the wild theory? People think there's a spaceship under Stonehenge.
No, it's druids.
There nearly was something under Stonehenge. They wanted to build a road underneath it.
I heard that was squashed.
Well, it
Is
would have
that
been, yeah,
right?
because it was underground. But
Yeah.
no, they have ended the plans for now.
Do
It's
you
like
think
where you
are
got
they gonna try
those
again to do
pyramids.
that?
No,
It won't be long before somebody comes up with a great idea of going, let's keep the road, but this time we'll go over the top. And we'll use stones of Stonehenge in the said road.
Mm,
Are they
Fuck
just waiting for a car crash?
They're always waiting for car crashes over here.
yeah, you don't have to wait very long.
Now,
Yeah, I love all those shows about the pyramids and how they think they're connected to aliens. I'm like, it's fucking
Yeah, well,
ridiculous.
they are.
Well, of course they are.
Bunch
The
of
Goa'uld.
bunch of stones stacked up in a pyramid. Give me a
Yeah,
break.
Ancient,
The Goa'uld.
ancient aliens from History Channel.
Yeah.
It's the Goa'uld.
Nicholas.
the only thing I want to know is how the fuck they lifted them, right?
Yeah,
Not what they're doing there, because some of these stones are fucking huge.
exactly.
Ropes and
just-
pulleys.
That's all it was. It was just raw manpower with
Oh,
ropes and
bullshit.
pulleys.
Bullshit.
What do you mean
Nah.
bullshit? And then I love the argument people say, "Oh, we couldn't build a pyramid like that these days." Bullshit. We could build one 10 times the size if we wanted to.
We can these days with technology. But back in that day, how did they lift them?
Actually,
Yeah, but they try to make them seem all supernatural and shit. I'm
I'm
like, if
sorry,
those
Justin.
motherfuckers were as smart as society or as humans today, they would have had
No.
satellites and cell phones
No,
too.
I'm going
No.
to disprove your theory here, Justin. Right? The Romans made cobbled roads that survived the test of time. You can still find them roads today. Today, we can't make a fucking road that'll last a year without a pothole.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So,
It's just that's just a choice of material they're using.
if we build a pyramid,
Because
exactly.
were-
if we built a
but
pyramid
you're
today, we'd
t-
probably build it out of freaking wood and plastic.
we could build a cobblestone road today that would do the same thing. It's just the fact of that's a hell of expensive to build cobblestone roads. And two, it's not good for vehicles. It tear the shit out of your car over time.
It's
You don't do
fine for
problems
horse.
in Manchester.
It was all for horse and cart. That and cast iron curbs.
You don't have any issues in Manchester, do you? Like,
Now, we've still got cobbles in some
Yeah.
places. There's a cobble street still in Ashton that I know of. But a lot of the cobble streets are actually still there. All they did was put tarmac over the top of them.
Mm.
And there were two different types. There was the sandstone sets, and then there was the granite set. The sandstone was about 12 inches square,
the one thing we do know,
and
Americans
The
never
granite
built
one-
any pyramids. 'cause
granite
if
are only
they did,
4 inches
they
square.
built them upside down.
Actually, we do have two large pyramids in the US.
Where'd you
We
steal?
have the one that's the Bass Pro Shop, and we have the one in Vegas, the Luxor.
Yeah.
Yeah, but did you have
And
to
they're-
buy it from somebody?
No, they were
Bit
built.
like,
they're
our
built-
bridges.
No, they're modern buildings.
Did we
They're
have to
actual
do
modern
what?
buildings.
Yeah, well, they made out of glass.
Yeah, but they're fucking huge. You see that one that Bass Pro Shop bought? That thing is
That-
huge.
Is that the one in?
Yeah.
I know that.
Okay,
It's,
they built out of glass.
They're
I rest
built
my
by-
case.
It's
All
in
the pyramids
Tennessee.
are built by people with diminishing ambitions.
It was the one. It's where
Tennessee were, because Ken, what's it? He's around it quite a bit.
yeah, it's where what city is it that has the archway?
St.
St.
Louis.
Louis?
Yeah,
Like,
St. Louis. It's right next to the. It's not too far from the Archway.
What, the pyramid?
Yeah, the Bass Pro Shop.
It's in Tennessee.
Is
Yeah.
it?
Yeah.
Tennessee.
Because Ken Heron flies round it a lot.
I thought it was near the.
Somewhere near.
Shut up, Justin.
You shut
Bye,
up.
Laura.
Because
You don't
it originally was made as I think a sports arena, and then it was a concert hall, and it was a bunch of shit before, and then nobody bought it for a long time, and then Bass Pro Shop came in and turned it into a big ass like store.
Restaurant up near the top somewhere on it.
Yeah.
I think
Uh,
it used to, but I don't know if it's still up there. I don't know if Bass Pro Shop has it.
So I
up there, so-
know there's one, it's got like a pyramid out front.
Yeah, it's
Big
Memphis.
ass pyramid.
Okay, it's in Memphis, Tennessee. Yeah, you guys are right.
Yeah.
I was thinking, but I
I
mean,
drove by it once. It's
just
huge.
yeah. I mean, if you just look at this video right here of this car driving by and that
Yeah.
that's bridge, I mean, that thing's huge. Yeah, it's actually it's really cool.
What's that?
Why's it got a flat top?
Was that a Memphis egg or what?
Upside down.
I think there's a I want to say I think there's a big ass spotlight on the top of it.
Like,
I
Well,
know
I
the
asked-
one in Vegas has that too.
It's
I
not
asked
that
a question. I asked a question. Why has it got a flat top? And Laura said because they built it upside down and then pushed it over.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
It doesn't have a flat top.
It looks it.
No,
No.
it's at a point.
It's got a viewing gallery.
Here,
Do you
look.
see
Yeah.
what Justin? Do you see
No,
a
it's
cool cat in the
definitely
cat?
at a point.
Yeah, there is a point.
And then
looks like
this is the viewing area. That's probably what you were seeing. You probably didn't see that part.
Mm.
But is there a point to this conversation?
Shut up.
No.
a.
No, all conversations are pointless.
What?
Should I get him? It'll be Mr. Stickley
What are you talking about?
or Mr. Justin. He's seasoned because he's paying attendance.
Oh.
But is Kid Heron is actually a wading bird?
See what?
Cool Cat said Kid Heron isn't actually a wading bird. True?
A
What the
heron, not Ken Heron.
Yeah, he was making a joke, I think.
Yeah.
Or was his attempt at a joke that
Hmm.
fell deaf?
Yeah, we just want crickets.
That second one is not very
Sorry,
good
Cool
either.
Cat, it didn't land, buddy.
The second one didn't land either. I don't think his second one did well, do you?
I don't even know what that means.
How well can Joshua Bard?
Like sing
Joshua
or
Bardwell.
entertain like a bard.
Probably referring to Joe Bardwell.
Joshua Bardwell. An FPV pilot.
I guess
Okay.
Dre just left, told us that we couldn't come over tomorrow, and then just leaves.
Yeah.
Let's get home. What's everything at home?
I guess you could,
What's
cool,
everything at
cool Cat, if you wanted to do.
What's everything at home?
Nobody knows exactly where Don Doss is.
Don't stop me.
Mm,
And a drink.
Doss is slang for to just lay down and sleep somewhere.
That's gonna be enough.
Yeah.
Oh,
Didn't know that.
well,
It's a
actually,
DOS.
We-
what a coincidence.
Dossers, homeless people. Sorry. But yeah, dossing down, he's going to bed.
Mm-hmm.
Basically,
But normally not
I've never heard the
going
phrase
to a
tossing down
bed
going
to go to bed.
How?
Yeah.
I've never heard of it either.
No.
Yeah,
You
I
see-
knew it.
I've heard of dossing about, messing around, not dossing down.
Yeah, yeah.
Dossing,
Yeah.
dossing means
Yeah.
messing.
No, dossing down
Doss house.
And
That's
Dossie's
where you-
nuts.
somewhere to kip.
Get
Uh,
your head down or stuff like that. The land of Nod.
Mm. But yeah, no, it's also used to as a slang word for a tramp, a dosser,
For a what?
a tramp,
Tramp.
person of new fixed abode.
Yeah.
a lady of the night.
Again, no.
No, just a home. The homeless.
Right.
I was the alternate definition for tramp.
No.
Oh, okay, yeah,
Right.
that means
A
something else in the
dosser
US.
is not a tramp either. A dosser is someone who's on benefits
It
that's
can
on
also be,
job
yeah,
seekers.
somebody who's lazy.
And,
Yeah.
and if she's
Yeah.
handicapped and leaning to the right, she'd be a trampoline.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
There's a joke.
That was quite good, Paul.
They're getting worse.
What do you mean I'm getting worse?
It's getting-
I-
I'm sorry,
joke-
that was really good for Paul. You have to let him have that one.
Charlie Chaplin was known as the tramp
Yeah,
because he was always
Homeless.
it was because he was always walking between
You are
places.
missing an adjective in there, sir. He was known as the little tramp.
Yeah.
A little
Yeah.
tramp.
yeah. The diminutive word was left out.
Yeah. We don't use the word tramp anymore anyway.
When I
didn't know
think
that,
a
Cool
tramp,
We do.
when I think a
is
tramp, it
a
runs.
derogative
It's a,
term.
well, that's
Does
what when I think of tramp, I think of a woman that runs a train through a trailer park. But
Yeah,
Yeah.
track.
Yeah, that's why I said.
Well, a tramp was usually a person who is traveling, distinctive from a
Cool Cat-
bum, which was a person who was basically.
Cool Cat
a
says a
deadbeat.
dosser is a popular Indian breakfast sandwich.
A hobo is somebody who was traveling, but they were homeward bound. That's what hobo stands for. At least
Yeah.
that's one of the stories for it.
They usually roll hobos. Usually
Homeward
roll
bound,
red
right?
way.
hmm There's no verification that that's what it originated
In
from,
fact-
but
in
that's one of
fact,
the main stories.
I believe that originally they rode the trains
On his bed, I think.
from place to place looking for work,
hmm
following the growing seasons and things like that.
Yeah, that also goes back to the crops
That
and
is-
the beginning of the railroad.
That's what I said.
hmm
Anyway, in my school days, we never called them tramps. We called them tramps.
we call them tramp stamps.
Yeah.
No, Tramp, because the teachers didn't know what you meant. So when you was calling one of the other kids a tramp, you'd go, "You Tramp."
Isn't there a
People
song,
look
The
confused.
Lady and the Tramp?
There
Is
is
a
a
lady
film
is a tramp.
called The Lady and the Tramp.
There's a movie called Lady and the Tramp. There is a song, The Lady is a Tramp.
Yes.
Mhm.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking of.
I don't know who did that song, but I remember that the lady is a tramp.
Covered by a lot of people. I know Frank Sinatra did a version.
The one I know.
Probably the
Yeah.
most famous version, but
It's got to be one of the top most popular versions.
Yeah, I think what's his name did one. You know, the one that was always drunk.
Same.
Dean Martin,
Yeah.
unless did he do a version with Frank Sinatra?
Possibly.
Don't
I
know.
started watching a couple of the Dean Martin movies, the Matt Helm movies where he played a spy.
Oh yeah.
So ridiculous and fun. It's like, man, I miss stupid fun movies that didn't mind being a little sexist.
Yeah, it's almost like an early version of Johnny English. I actually more a kind of James Bond, wasn't it? I
It was
suppose.
very James Bond, but
Yeah.
James Bond that didn't take itself quite as serious.
Yeah.
It's like, hey, we're gonna do James Bond, but he's a womanizer, and we're just gonna really lean into that, and that becomes kind of the joke.
Bit like the original Casino Royale.
Well, they're debating on will there be another Bond movie?
Yes, of course there's gonna be another
There's
Bond movie.
always
There's money.
been
in
Yeah,
it.
of course.
Bond movie. They just
And-
changed the characters.
And they're debating on who will be the next Bond.
I think it's time for a woman James Bond.
Yeah.
Elon Musk. Actually, in the last
I don't
before?
think Elon Musk should be a Bond.
I think a couple of films back, they replaced James Bond with a woman when he retired.
Mm.
Right. Anyone who's a Big Bang Theory fan, remember tomorrow, in America, George and Mandy's Story premieres.
Oh,
Okay.
I didn't know they were making that.
It's been
Well-
made, it's done. They're off, up and running.
I didn't know that. I knew when the other one ended, they talked about it, but in fact, I don't even think I ever watched the final episodes of Young Sheldon. No, I never watched the final episodes of Young Sheldon.
Nope.
You ever heard of Lucille Bogan from the 1920s?
Nope.
Steel Ball.
Yeah, Dirty Singer.
Yes, you do know that's what I find so hilarious is how they make such a big deal about like some of these new songs like the WAP song. And it's like, dude, there was some nasty shit back in the 20s.
But it
Yeah.
was Midnight Records, and people didn't play. It was passed around. It was kind of hush hush. It wasn't on top 40.
Oh,
They
I
were
know,
all-
but
they
it
were
still
all-
existed.
They were
though.
all printed on 78 records.
Yeah, you also had what was her name? She had a song called "Bounce Your Boobies."
Yeah.
Ooh.
But that's what I'm saying is like, I laugh when I hear some of these older people. They're like, "Oh my god," and I'm like, "Dude, there was some
No.
nasty shit when you
There
guys
was-
were around."
Of course, there's nasty shit, but it wasn't top 40. It wasn't.
Like, well-
paraded in polite company. That's the difference.
What
Cool
was
Cat. Remember Naked Gun? That was also in that era.
so was like porn back in the day like seeing a woman's ankles while she boats?
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
Said,
By
"Oh,
the
you-
way, don't ever think
careful."
I loved the Airplane movie. Let's watch a few of the later films. Don't, please. No, okay. Watch Airplane. That was great. You don't need to watch Airplane 2. If you watch the Police Squad TV show, awesome. The Naked Gun movie is based on the Police Squad TV show. They were a little weaker.
Yeah. Just remember the red zones for parking and the red zones for unloading only.
Yeah.
What about Police Academy, Donald?
Police Academy is good, but we're talking about who were the writers of Airplane?
Zucker Brothers.
The Zucker brothers, yes. The Zucker brothers were not involved in Airplane 2, and they were not involved in the later police squads, I don't think. And a lot of the later movies that Leslie
What about
Nielsen was
Nathan
in
Hook?
was not Zucker brothers. Cool Cat, if you like Zucker brothers, Top Secret is a great one with what was his name? Val Kilmer.
That's why the scary movies got so bad was because the Wayne's brothers got out of them after the
Mhm.
second one, and they got really fucking cheesy. I don't like any
Yeah,
of the ones
they
past
overdid
the
it.
first. The first two were really, I like those. Those were funny,
Yeah, they just
Uh,
overdid it.
but
Did one of
yeah,
those have Charlie Sheen in it?
yeah, that was the one. That was one of the ones
That's Hot
after the
Shots.
Wayne's brothers.
That's Hot Shots. Wasn't
Oh,
it?
look
No,
how-
no, no. He was in Scary Movie 4 or 5.
Was he?
Yeah, he was. He played as the when they were making fun of what the hell movie was that where they had the
Was it making fun of?
Signs? Signs. They were making fun of the movie Signs.
Oh yeah.
And the dude was acting like Eminem, the guy that lived with him. I mean, there were some funny parts in those movies, but they got really cheesy after the Wayans brothers got out of them. You could tell it was a whole different
I
writers
love the
once
scene
they
in Hot
left.
Shots where he pulls up in the plane at the traffic lights.
Sounds like they just wanted to go cheap, cheap, cheap.
Or when they were flying, he's like, "I'm at 400 feet. I'm at 300. I'm on First and Main."
Yeah. And then stops for the red light.
Yeah. Everybody landed at the military or at the Air Force base, and what the hell was his name? The one with the fucked up eyes. He lands on Las Vegas Boulevard.
Yeah.
All you hear is Wayne Newton in the background singing.
Yeah. And in the bar scene, the beers are on me. Free beer! It'll come out of nowhere.
Yeah. Just ran up like a $3,000 tab.
Yeah, it comes swinging down from the ceilings and all sorts. Free beer!
Yeah, and he said it so quietly too. He's like, "Drinks are on me." And all of a sudden, people from outside are running in and screaming, "Free beer!" The Hot Shots movies were cheesy, but they were funny.
Problem is, you don't make films like that anymore.
Yeah, today to find a good film is like a gym. It's hard to find a good film or show.
They're all saying storyline now. Boy meets girl, gets up the duff, you get married, get divorced, and live happily ever after.
What about the likes of Oak Island or Skinwalker Ranch?
That was a reality show, wasn't it?
Yeah, they're both reality shows.
I don't like reality shows because a lot of them are staged.
Survivor.
Don't like it.
Again, staged.
There was a guy that was going around on YouTube for a long time, and he was going undercover in like Detroit Pawn and Pawn Stars, and he was going around all these places where they were shooting reality shows, and he was getting undercover footage, and you could totally see everything was being staged with your own eyes. He walked into Detroit, the Detroit Pawn one, and actually sat there and filmed them, had cameras on them, and filmed them setting up a scene of the customer getting in a fight with one of the owners. And you watch the whole thing of them setting it up.
Yeah.
And then
Like
practicing
over here.
taking different takes.
Yeah.
I
Over
can't
here,
watch them.
Yeah, over here we had I'm a Celebrity, Get Me Out of Here, and Matt Hancock, and an absolute bell end of an MP went on it, right? Against the wishes of government, because he's supposed to be an MP, but he went
Yeah.
on reality pod. And you're not telling me that nobody rung up every night to make sure he was doing the nasty jobs.
Well, and the thing is too, like, if you want to go and watch a reality show and you go into it realizing that it's probably 90% staged and you're just watching it as entertainment, but if you're going into it believing wholeheartedly that's everything that's going on, then you're watching it with blinders on.
Yeah.
I
The
I
only-
was on two. Go ahead.
No, go on, I was gonna say.
I was gonna say I was on 2 episodes of Storage Wars. I was actually there during the filming. And both episodes, I saw all kinds of shit being staged behind the scenes. Because my cousin was really good friends with Barry, the old guy on the show. Knew him before he was on the show. And we decided, me and my cousin decided to get the schedule of where they were going to be at, because they used to post it online. And we went to 2 different of the tapings. One of the tapings we went to, we actually helped Barry after the show load one of his storage units in his truck. And he gave us each $100 for helping him. The dude had tons of money. That dude's a millionaire. He was just doing it for the show. He didn't even give a shit about the junk that was in there. He could care less at the end of the day. But what I'm saying is we saw a lot of stage shit. Me and my friend were standing around the corner. We were listening to the producers talk. and they were talking about how much they were going to budget each team for the day on what they were going to buy, and they were letting these motherfuckers go through the storage units before the filming, which they're not supposed to do at a real storage unit auction. And my cousin was into the whole storage unit thing well before those shows became popular. Him and my uncle were. Before those were even a thing. So I was a little around that a little bit before they became popular. And that's how my cousin met Barry, because Barry used to do it as a hobby on the side before it became popularized. That's how he got on the show, because of his personality. He's got a very bubbly
Talking about these
personality.
shows, over here, we've just had a case where a storage place was selling one of the storage units because they hadn't been paid the bill. So they literally put it up for auction, and then they let a few people have a look in. And when they looked in, there were computer parts, TVs, you name it. It was worth in shitloads. And then on the day when they did the auction, the girl that won it, she undoes the lock and it was fucking empty. The people that had stored the stuff in it come back the night before and emptied it.
I bought a closet-sized storage unit. It wasn't very big. It was literally like the size of a walk-in closet, very small storage unit. Just had a regular door on it, type thing.
Yeah.
And I got it for $100. I think I paid $100 or something for it.
I'll be back, guys.
It was pretty full,
Catch
had
that
some
ball.
shit in it. Nothing was really worth anything. It was a lot of junk, but then I was going through one of the dressers in there. That's when I found that that $50 1 troy ounce gold coin in there. And at that time, that was worth $1,400.
Do you still have it?
No, I sold it to a guy that wanted it for his collection, a friend of my dad's who owned a pawn shop. He paid me market value for it because he wanted it for his collection. He didn't give me the pawn shop price. He paid me the full amount of what it was worth.
Oh, he gave you the good price.
But I know that the coin was not worth more than what it was. It wasn't some rare coin. It was just one he didn't have for his collection that he wanted because he collected coins. And so he gave me, because he was friends with my dad, he gave me full market value for it. Because that, if he would have offered it to me, you know, if I would have walked in the pawn shop and it was worth $1,400, he probably would have gave me like $1,000 for it. You know what I'm saying? But he gave me the full $1,400. He actually had to drive to the bank and get the money for me. Because I'd already did the research on the coin for like 2 weeks before I took it to him. And I walked in and he knew who I was, and I was telling him about it. I had all the stuff printed out about the coin. I knew all about it. Wasn't a rare coin. It was just, that was what the market value for the gold was. But he wanted it for his collection. So like I said, he ended up giving me the full amount for it.
I wonder if you would have been able to get more for it today.
Oh yeah, today it would
A lot
be
more
worth
today.
today it would be worth about 2,400. Because gold's at 20.
Why do you say
almost 25.
2,400? Why don't you just say 2,400?
2,400 is faster.
Justin, you have a question from JD.
No, I'm not driving a bus. I'm just a bus attendant. I just get to sit on the bus.
So would you drive the bus if something happened to
I
you driving?
do. No, because I don't have a Class B license.
And he's not
You have
insured.
to have the CDL for that.
Yeah.
No, I pretty much monitor the kids, and then I'm also, I can render first aid and CPR if necessary.
So when he slaps the kid one and the kid bangs their head on the back door and he's like, "You will shut up," and he realizes it may have been a bit too hard, he gets to do the CPR
No.
and bring him back.
Not admitting that on a live stream. Nope.
Justin will be like, sit your ass down.
Oh, the bus. Our buses are covered in cameras. They have 4 cameras inside the buses now, and then they
Jesus.
have 2 on each side of the bus that can catch license plates. They're like high-speed type cameras, and then they have one on the front and one on the back.
Is that all? Jesus.
That's just for a school bus.
There were
Where have you been?
on my old bus. There were only 2. One looking on the inside of the bus, looking at the students, and one on the outside.
And our
by
buses
the
have
stop-
Wi-Fi
by
too.
the stop arm.
Yeah. Well, our buses have Wi-Fi, but our buses, when you get on, soon as you get on the bus, you're on 4 cameras. One above the driver, one above the door, and the 2 part way down.
Yeah, but you're talking city buses. I'm talking school buses.
Yeah,
Yeah, but these are used for school buses.
Oh,
And then you've got them over the seats all the way down, and then you've got them all upstairs as well. And on the outside, you've got one at the main door, one on the driver's side, 2 on the front, and 4 on the back.
invasion of whose privacy, Dusty? No, it's not. There ain't a bathroom on the bus. I promise you, there's 4 cameras on the
I'm
bus.
sorry.
We went and took a tour of the buses today, and they showed us
Dusty.
all everything on them. There's
You
4
can't-
cameras inside.
Yep, and
Yeah,
if you're on a bus, unless it's your bus, you have no reasonable expectation of privacy.
Justin, is it
Exactly.
electric?
No,
Yeah.
they're all diesel. They're all diesel Thomas buses.
Yeah.
Because there's a push in New York State to make all the buses in the state by 2035
Oh,
That's
all electric.
well, that's New York and California. So, you
Guess
see how
what?
those states are ran. So
But I'm wondering, is Florida next?
no,
No,
because we have common sense down in Florida.
and not just that, right? And
you don't have much common sense. You still live there.
Not
Yeah.
up.
By 2035,
I love it in Florida.
Right.
I'll never move out of
the
Florida.
move to electric vehicles will be over.
No,
Well,
actually,
Oh,
one of the people in our class actually asked our trainer if we were scheduled to get any kind of electric buses, and they said absolutely not. They're not going that way.
We've had
Just
so many electrical vehicle fires this year alone. Just people's cars just randomly exploding on the
There
driveway.
is no blind spots in the bus. That's why there's 4 in there, Dusty.
where you can hit the kids.
There
Justin.
literally is no blind spots in there, I promise you. And then, like I said, there's 2 on either side of the bus, 1 on the front and 1 on the back of the bus. So there's a 360-degree view of that bus on the outside.
And
And
what-
the 2 on the sides can catch high speed. If you speed by the bus, it can catch your license plate.
is there like a flashing light dome thing that's on top of the bus?
Yeah,
Mhm.
What is that?
it's just a safety light.
Just a safety light? Okay.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I thought
Just
it was
a-
something else.
It's anti-collision light in case you're flying at 400 feet or over.
Fucking Donald.
I saw them on the bus a while. It was like,
No, they
what
have
the hell is that on there?
The,
They
the
have-
fact that you saw them is the reason they're on there.
exactly. It's to make the bus very visible because you got to remember these buses sometimes they're out very early in the morning in the dark and in the evening as they have late runs. Some of these buses will do after school programs. They'll be up at 4 o'clock in the morning because
Yep.
some high schools start at
They'll
6.
they'll have the kids on the bus to go to an away game, and they'll be driving back late at night.
Right.
Well, I saw on a 1-lane each way road, bus stops, and somebody still is just hit right into the back of the rams right into the back of the bus.
And ours is $250 a ticket if you run by the bus per
Right.
ticket.
Got a question for you. If a bus stops, why the hell are you going to run into the back of it? It's a big fucking bus.
No,
I
no, no.
don't
It's not the
know.
we don't have a problem with people running in the back. It's they'll drive by the bus when they're supposed to stop both ways. For that way, if kids need to cross the road, like in
'cause
the U.S., especially here in Florida, they're very strict. When a bus stops
Like-
and those 2 stop signs come out on the side of the bus, traffic has to stop both ways. The only time traffic does not have to stop on coming the other
It's on a
direction is
divided highway.
Yep, as if the highway is divided by a concrete barrier or has to have some kind of divide between it.
Because David, like the first couple weeks of school, places in Florida, they have police either in front or
and the-
in back of the bus,
And the reason
waiting
why
for somebody to go around that bus.
and the
Oh, yeah,
reason
no.
why they do that is because here in Florida, a few years back, I was talking about this not too long ago, there was 3 kids at a bus stop and the parents lost all 3 of their kids because somebody ran by a school bus, killed all 3 of their kids in one shot.
Question
And
is, though,
that was
how many
already a law
people-
before that, but they got really strict on it after that.
Yeah.
Like real strict.
Really morbid thought, but if that happened to you, would you stay together with your wife, or would you just It'd be something that would tie you together, but
Well,
it'd be just tragedy that you
most
would. Every time
couples,
you
they,
looked at every time you look at each other, you just think of your children, and
well, they actually say most couples that lose children end up getting divorced after.
because it just reminds them.
Yeah.
But how many
Because-
people are injured by them stop signs? You know, when they fling out.
Well, they only come out as big as the stop sign is on the side of the bus.
Yeah, it's
They're
pretty
just
big.
really, but they're really
They're-
lit up too. It's not like you can't see them.
Yeah, but you could be walking
They're-
along and the bus just pulls up alongside you and it's like
Dude.
slap.
These buses look like a fucking gay nightclub. when
Now
they
we
light
know
up.
how your friend got hit by the bus.
No,
If the
but
bus is
there's
pulling up beside you. Get the hell out of its way. It's a bus. It's bigger than you.
the thing is these buses got so many flashing lights on them that there is no excuse for passing one. There really isn't.
No, I'm not talking about passing in a
Well-
car. I'm talking about you're walking along the pavement or a sidewalk, right? And the bus comes passing, just stops right in front of you, and then the fucking stop sign just flings out, goes smack.
Well,
Right
you'd have to
there.
be over 7 foot to hit it. So
Oh yeah.
it's like way up on the side of the bus. You'd have to be over 7 foot to even hit it.
The ones I've seen are always below the windows.
Yeah, but that's
Yeah, they are below the
still
windows, but it's still about 6 foot high.
6 or 7
Six, 7
feet.
foot
Yeah.
high.
Yeah, it's still pretty high off the
I'm
ground.
sorry, You're not convincing me that the bottom of them windows is 7 foot.
No, when you standing at ground level and you reach up about 6 to 7 foot, that is where
If I'm standing next to a bus,
The
David,
bus
I gotta
sign is
reach up
the
to
stop
just the
sign.
bottom of the windows.
The hell?
that's where the little arm is.
And yet,
There,
over here, if we stood next to the bus, we can look through the bloody window.
no, over here you wouldn't be able to. I'm telling you, if I stand next to a bus, I have to reach up to touch the bottom of the windows, and I'm 6'1". I can reach them, but I have to reach up to touch them. There's no way I could see inside of a bus just standing next
Is-
to it.
Yeah, our buses are made so that you walk straight into them off the pavement
Yeah, and
rather than
there's no
Well-
step apart from the one at the back.
Well, ours are. Oh yeah, see, ours has steps. Like it's even with the ground when you come up to it. You got to step up just a little bit. But yeah, there's a steep set of stairs you got to go up to get
Yeah,
in there.
the older buses have steep stairs.
Yeah, we don't have. We've done away with all the step.
Now,
access
city
buses.
buses, some of them are like that, where they'll be even with the ground, the platform, but
Yeah,
not school buses. School buses design really hasn't changed much
There you go.
over the
See those
last
people?
50 years.
See,
right. I rest my case. Look at that guy's
They would get hit.
with a mask on. He could get a good slap.
Huh? He
but
get
at
hit by
least so they're at least 4 foot,
Yeah, but even if you're
4 or 5 foot.
It's still if you are standing there and a school bus pulls up and you just stand, I don't think they're gonna fling out the stop sign into somebody's face.
well, no, and those
I think
those
Alan's
things
right on this one.
and those lights
Donald,
they have
Let
big
me ask you
lights
a
on them.
question,
They're
right?
bright as fuck.
you're driving one of them buses, right? And you pull up and you see Justin at the side of on the
I
sidewalk.
would swing that stop sign out just as hard as I fucking could.
There you go. There it is.
Hey, Justin! Bang!
In fact, I might not even slow down before I did it.
our public buses
Accelerate
have
and stop.
the fold out
Hey,
ramp as
Justin.
well to allow
Bang.
wheelchairs in.
Anyway, I'm still waiting for the time that Justin's on the on the Paul Murray show in the car park with all the kids on the bus going, "Shut up! I'm online." Just got them all left there in the car park.
Could live stream from the bus, Justin.
That wouldn't be allowed.
Yeah, Justin, all the kids would think you
No,
were the
you're not even
coolest.
allowed to. You're not even allowed to be on your phone when you're on there. They have a very strict cell phone policy. You can only answer your phone if the area manager calls you, or if it's an emergency. That's it.
How do you know it's an emergency though?
Yeah.
Because they can hear everything you're doing on the bus. It's all audio and video recorded.
Yeah, no, but how do you know when somebody rings you? How do you know it's an emergency?
No, I'm saying
you
you
gotta
can make
look.
emergency calls, and you can receive calls from the bus depot from your
Yeah.
area manager. That's
So if
it.
Sarah tried to ring you, are you to ignore it?
Yes,
Right.
Sarah.
but
Yeah,
she
she should call the dispatch, and then they would contact.
right, and then all the parents have the number to the bus dispatch that they can call to get a
But
hold of the bus.
would dispatch answer the phone?
Yes,
Yeah,
I've called
because they
dispatch
have-
plenty of times for my
they
kids.
have to. If there's an issue and a parent calls dispatch because their kid did not get off the bus, you need to know where the bus is going to be. You need to know that there's a kid that's loose in the system. Yeah, they have people who are going to answer.
Yes, they're very strict around here about that. But they have this new system too, and so now that the bus drivers actually have a tablet, the kids have to scan their IDs to get in or off the bus. And then every bus stop that they stop at, it pops up a list automatically with every student's name and contact information of each student that gets off at each stop. And then it
Yes.
tells them if they're missing a student before they leave that bus stop. It'll say, hey, one of your student didn't get off the bus. It will actually, the tablet will tell them, only 5 out of 6 of your kids scan their ID, one of them's missing. So that immediately tells you got to stop right there, investigate what's going on. It could just be a kid stayed out of school that day.
Yeah.
So
I
with
remember
the
calling the bus and being like, "Hey, my kid left their books on the bus. Where can I get my
right, and you
book-
can do
get the
that.
books?"
And now they're doing the same thing as Amazon, where the parents can track the buses now.
That's kind of
Oh,
cool.
then
So
the same thing like Amazon. You can track the bus, and when you get the kids to the home, they throw them over the fence.
Or
Yeah.
or so that the dad who's
But-
trying to kidnap his son, he'll know where to meet the bus
but it actually
You
gives
mean the over the fence?
in the custody battle.
but the thing is it tells you where the bus is until your student gets off the bus. Once it gets off, they get off the bus, it's just like Amazon. It cuts that tracking system off.
Your package has been delivered.
I just got reminded of
Hey, handed to resident. It's under the mat, under the doormat.
That's
Sit
it. Your package has been left in your safe place.
yeah, in your blue bin.
They'll try
Yeah.
for redelivery tomorrow.
Yeah.
You weren't there to sign for it. No, it's a pretty cool system as far as it does help everybody kind of keep track of where everybody's at. And then if a student, like say a new student shows up, they can get on the bus and then the bus driver can call dispatch, give them the information of the kid, and then they can add them into the system right there on the bus. And then they can figure out that, yes, that's the bus that they're supposed to be at. They did register at this school. So it's kind of a cool system. Like I said, it really helps. Like you can't even turn the bus off at the end of the day. And once you hit that, you ended your route for the day. The bus won't actually let you shut it off until you check every seat in the bus and you press a button at the back of it. And then if you try to skip that and turn the bus off, the bus will just start blaring its horn and going nuts. It'll start flashing all its lights, blaring its horn. So it's like impossible to turn that bus off without doing that safety check. And that's because there has been cases of students that were left on buses overnight. And
Yeah.
the police were out, everybody was out looking for the kid, and it turned out they were on the bus the whole time. And they slept on the bus overnight because the bus driver didn't go to the back of the bus to check to make sure every seat was empty.
Well, over here in the UK, we don't really have school buses anymore. They're
Jim.
they're
No.
more on public transport.
Well, our school buses, when I was at school, used to be a normal bus that turned up at the school, filled up with students, and then set off on its normal route and picked up passengers on the way.
Yeah. Well, there are still buses that pick up from schools and will only let school kids on. But
What's up,
yeah,
Jim?
I think it's wrong that kids are getting on buses and adults can get on with them.
Okay, kids. I just
Oh, yeah.
realized it's approaching 6:30. I gotta go.
All right, I'll see you later.
Dinner?
Oh yeah, they
Dinner down?
Dinner, and I got some errands to run.
See you later. Enjoy
Later.
dinner.
no, over here they would never allow random strangers to get on a school bus. Oh, hell no, that would never fly over
But
here.
no, they're not school buses anymore. They're just public transport.
Well,
It's
that's what I'm
strictly
saying.
on
They would
route.
never do that over here. That would be a huge outcry from the parents.
Yeah, when I lived in Blackpool, it used to really piss me off. The kids on the far end of Blackpool would always go to school on the Asda end. Yeah, and the kids on the Asda end would go to school on the other end of town. It's like, why? Just swap them around, you bastards.
Oh
You know,
no.
fucking bus.
Here you can
Uh,
register to go to another school out of your area, but you have to go to the school that's closest to you.
Okay.
Oh, they
Uh,
do
But
good
you-
question,
try to
Justin.
do that, but
But if
Dusty,
you
it
want to
depends
go
on the
to a
school.
different, like say you're in 12, 11th grade or 12th grade, and you want to go to a different high school, your parents can pick you to go to a different high school.
well, over here,
So,
if say you put in the list of the schools you want kids to go to, and the council will pick the one closest to you that has places. But sometimes you could move into that area and the local school have no place, so you got to go to one on the other side.
Yeah, mine was a bit different because I passed my 11 plus, so I went to grammar school, and I went to a Catholic grammar school.
Jim.
One I went to was 2 bus rides away. It took me an hour to get to school.
Mm.
Yeah, see, you can do that over here. Like you can get bus transfers and stuff if you end up going to a school out of your area, but you're going to spend a long time on the bus. Now, your parents can choose to pick you up and drop you off every day if they want. But, when you do that, it's kind of an inconvenience for everybody because now the bus depot has to figure out how to get people from point A to point B by doing a bunch of bus transfers. And then
Yeah.
for the parents, it can be inconvenient because now they have to be at the school every morning at a certain time to pick you up and drop you off. Yeah, it can be a big ass inconvenience. But some parents will do it. They'll put their kids in other schools and then they have to make a long ass trek across town or the city or whatever.
Dusty had a question. What happens if fight breaks out?
We're actually gonna cover that tomorrow, so I don't know yet. Dude,
So
we have
is-
so much shit to go through.
You're not
So
allowed to.
I'm wondering, is Justin allowed to intervene if this fight does break out?
I don't know. I'll find out tomorrow. I'll let you guys know. I don't know.
He gets to pull out
A
his gun.
conflict, it'd be
Right,
conflict
no.
resolution. You would learn that under conflict resolution.
He's not allowed to join in.
Yeah.
Justin, check your messages.
Yeah.
Cool
So-
cat.
Justin gets to stand there going, fight, 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 fight.
Or check your messenger.
All right, I'm gonna jump off. I'll catch y'all later.
Okay.
I'll see you guys later. I'm gonna jump off too.
Why don't we all jump off then?
Okay. Bye, everybody. And then there was 4.
And then there were 3. Bye-bye.
No, he's still here.
At least Paul's back.
Yeah. And then there was 2. Bye. Bye, everybody. Catch you later, Paul.
Okay, I'll sign it all out. Thanks. Thanks for keeping an eye on it.
Catch you later, guys.
Bye for now. See you in the morning.
Yep, see you tomorrow.
Okay.